All right, welcome in, welcome in. Week 15, playoff time. I hope everyone made their playoffs there. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm good. So I'm looking at my dynasty portfolio. I am in 12 dynasty leagues where I have money invested and made the playoffs in 7 of those 12 leagues. So of the 5 teams that didn't make the playoffs, 4 of them I was hoping slash expecting them to be contenders. So that was a little disappointing, but still got over half the teams in the playoffs. I am the number 1 seed in one of those leagues, but unfortunately, it just so happens to be a league where no team's going to buy. Basically,
Oh,
8
jeez.
make the playoffs. So of course, that's the league where I'm the number 1 seed and should have the buy.
Mhm.
That's the crazy tight end premium league, by the way. But yeah, overall, not too shabby there. And probably, the biggest victory of all is getting my listener league team into the playoffs. I mean,
That's right.
it was not looking good. Like, I don't think anyone thought I was going to make it. And I probably shouldn't have, but, I just kept believing in the team, kept making trades.
Yeah.
The big one was trading 3 firsts and 26 to get Jahmyr Gibbs a few weeks ago. That aged very well. I still think Randy and Reed will be very happy with their 3 firsts in the long term. But yeah, that really propelled me. And then had a big game from Harold Fannin, and it all just sort of came together. But I still needed a lot of tiebreakers, and I had to thread so many needles, like, in terms of like, okay, I need like Randy and Reed to lose, and they can't get the league median either. And then I need to beat Hawkeyes, but he also can't get the league median. I mean, it was just like so many different things. And then even like, the points scored on the season might have come into play. It was insane, but somehow I threaded the needle. I'm in the playoffs, so I'm feeling good. How about you, Blake? How did your dynasty portfolio do? Oh, and also I should mention my home redraft league.
Yeah.
I just missed getting the bye, but I do have a playoff spot. I think I'm the 3 seed.
So you're just in one redraft.
Yeah, I'm just in one redraft, but I help some friends with help a few friends like with their redraft leagues too, and all their teams made the playoffs as well. So I'll take a little victory in that as well. But yeah, how did your portfolio do?
Yeah, well, 1 second. That's what I was gonna ask you. Is how many redrafts? And sorry, you said you were what seed there? The 3 or?
I think I'm the 3 seed. I mean, we have like 2 divisions, so I basically tied the record with the team that won the division, and then I just lost on like the points for tiebreaker on the season by I think it was like 20 points or something like that. It wasn't much, so just missed getting that bye week. But yeah, what are you gonna do?
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. That's what I was wondering because I wasn't sure if you were in more than one redraft. So that answers that question. Because yeah, I don't know. I just merge all my oh no, I'll just say the redraft and then the dynasty. I guess off the top of my head here, but the redraft I played in 4, had got 2 buys, which was really nice.
Nice.
1 playoff team as well, which unfortunately came third, and actually just missed out on the buy. Pretty much just missed out on the buy because of a few different circumstances, but the big one was in like the week that Wan'Dale Robinson went nuts, Gibbs went berserk, and Kareem Hunt, all those guys. Well,
Yeah.
we played them, and we were the second highest scoring team, and that was also the guy that was above us. So we just got in this like really. I mean, even if we didn't play him that week and we got the win, we still would have got that bye. So it was like, very very close to going 3 to 4 there, but very like. I normally have no expectations in redraft. You know how it is. 1 injury, you're toast. So I was really happy with that. And then Dynasty, really happy about that as well. I have 17 teams, but 1 was just a complete rebuild, like the no pun intended team. So I'm not even I'm obviously not ever gonna win a game in there. So the 16 contending teams, what was it? I had 14 in my total profile minus 3. So I had 11 playoff teams out of the 16.
Okay.
And then 5 of them made the bye then because I had 2 from my from redraft. So
awesome.
Yeah, so that was really nice. And then here's a funny stat for you. Of all of these teams, of all my 7 bye teams, how many do you think have Christian McCaffrey on them?
I'm gonna say, I mean, I want to say all 7. I'll just say all 7.
No, not all 7. Not all 7. It actually is. I honestly think it's like
5 or 6.
Yeah, it's 5. It's 5. Yeah.
Okay, 5. Okay.
Which is we're setting up for Jalen Hurts 2.0 here.
Oh gosh.
100%.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
It's gonna be James Conner and Jalen Hurts Day all weeks. Hopefully not week 16. Hopefully week 17 this time.
Yeah.
If so,
Well, I think what's going to be interesting is a lot of JT owners, of which I am one. I have JT in 2 dynasty leagues. A lot of JT owners. I mean, of course, they're still going to be starting him. I mean, maybe he'll still produce, but I mean, he definitely takes a big hit with the
Lord, yes.
injury to Daniel Jones. And actually, one other thing I wanted to mention. One of those dynasty teams where I have JT, I haven't even told you about this yet. I'm surprised I hadn't texted you about it yet. But my biggest heartbreaker of this fantasy football season is my loaded team, and I always call it Joey's League. It's called Rounders, off of the Matt Damon movie. And, that is one of my best dynasty teams. Just did the startup this past offseason. Absolutely loaded. I finished first in points for on the season.
Okay.
And even by like a comfortable margin. I mean, like I'm like 80 points ahead of like, the guy who's even like in second, so far and away the best team in the league. I end the season on like a 3-game losing streak, finish 6-8 and miss the playoffs.
I mean, that's the grease ball all over again there.
Yeah.
I mean, you just hate to see it.
And the crazy thing too is I lost the 6th seed to I think it's Joey's son, who was like rebuilding for like half of the season, and then he just randomly decided to like start contending. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I mean, it wasn't even like it wasn't like his team was like performing that great. He just decided to like randomly like shift gears, and but yeah, I mean, everything went wrong in week 14 in this particular league. Like even with me losing, I still could have made it if like either Joey's son lost or this like other guy lost. And of course, like they both won their matchup. So it was just like the perfect storm. You know what I mean? Yeah. But man, I mean, it's definitely a bummer not to get this team in. I mean, I guess, this team does have like London and JT. So, London's out this week. JT takes a big hit. So maybe it wouldn't have won the championship anyways, but still a lot of other good players on it. Like, A-Chain, who's also banged up, but I think he'll play. James Cook, Jalen Hurts, et cetera. But hey, what are you going to do? I mean, you can't control everything, but maybe we'll take a vote to, give the 6th seed to the highest point scorer for future seasons.
Yeah, that would have been a good rule in there for you. Yeah, that's actually, I mean, that sounds really similar to Matt and I's team, except we just weren't the best team by any means. Our team was getting hotter and hotter and hotter. We got Rice back, all this stuff. And I mean, I gotta blame myself for this because I know Matt's like on vacation, but it looked like we were surely in playoffs anyways. But we had Mahomes just in an abysmal matchup. Like, I did not want to start Mahomes, but Sam Darnold hadn't been good anyways, and I was just like if I we can like miss playoffs though if Sam Darnold like actually does put up a dud just like we can like Mahomes. I wanted to suggest it, but like Matt didn't say anything, and also Matt has been kind of like the Mahomes guy and stuff, so I was like, whatever. Like, our team, like, so much needs to go wrong. Like, I would say it would probably be like a 10% chance or worse for us to miss playoffs. Because we had to miss and we had to lose by like 80 compared to like a couple other teams. Oh, we missed by like 3 points to the 6th seed, and then I even think the 5 seed was only like 7 points ahead of us or something like that.
Yeah,
because we all have the same record. But our team just did so bad. Week 14, we had like every bust possible because Rice. Mahomes, all those guys were trash. So we ended up missing. So that's like our little heartbreak.
I was gonna say that I can't believe we both missed the playoffs in that particular league. It's called Aqua, and so you and Matt co-manage a team, and then Randy and I co-manage a team, and neither of us made the playoffs. Randy and I just had a million injuries on the season. And so, we knew at least as of like a few weeks ago, this probably just isn't going to happen. But I mean, your team was starting to heat up, and I thought you were definitely going to make it and probably even like, potentially make some noise. So that was a real bummer. Oh, and then the other bummer I noticed, at least for you, I saw that you just barely missed getting the 101 and no pun intended.
Oh, yeah.
By like, how many points was that? By like 20 or something?
20. Yeah, I went backwards that week. I scored actually 2 more points than him. Yeah, Michael Wilson on my roster in week whatever that was. I got him off. I got him off for the second time he went off, and then of course now the third time he went off.
Yeah,
but I could not recover because that same week, or maybe it was the week before, Josh had lost Daniels and Stroud for an extended period of time. So it was just like I can't
Yeah.
I had the 101 and then I lost it, and it was just I did everything imaginable to get that thing back.
Oh, dude. I mean, you really did. And I still think that was the right thing to do because you just never know. And you came so close. So you had to try. And yeah, I mean, often there is a big difference between the 101 and 102. Not always, but, it seems like this year that might be the case. So you definitely had to go for it. By the way, speaking of no pun intended, I just received a trade offer in there offering me Daniel Jones, and I would be sending away Bryce Young and Colby Parkinson. Any thoughts on that? I guess it's just basically, who do you like better, Bryce Young or Daniel Jones? Parkinson doesn't really matter too much. What are your thoughts on that? Obviously, I'm out of the playoffs, so if I like Daniel Jones better long term, it is something I could consider. Which QB do you prefer if you're rebuilding?
I have no idea what to think of Daniel Jones now. I would say, if I know that, I think he's like, how would he not get paid a contract? I mean, Kirk Cousins got paid a contract. Maybe that's not a good thing for Daniel Jones. Like, as far as like teams are maybe going to be more cautious. He's like 28 though. I think he gets signed, probably the Colts. I would just have a really hard time imagining them not re-signing Daniel Jones, who's just completely turned around the organization there for them.
Right.
And if he didn't, like a quarterback like coming off a season like that doesn't just walk. So
right.
I mean, the production is going to be down. I mean, the thing with Bryce Young is like, I mean, I don't know. It wasn't like long ago too that you just kind of like dumped him off, and I think it was a league where it didn't really like, he mattered and stuff. So that kind of like it's a good reminder of like where we're at in Bryce Young, minus like a couple random like, who did he do it against? Did he do it against the Rams or something? Or didn't he blow up against the Rams?
I think it was like both in tough matchups, like the Falcons and Rams,
Yeah, so like I don't know. I don't even know what to think of Bryce Young. Like personally, I'm more inclined to actually just like bet on the injured guy. Bonus points if I can get anything on top. For Bryce Young.
Let's look at this for fun. Let's look at what their difference is in points per game this season. I'm assuming Daniel Jones is going to be well ahead. So
the issue is like Daniel Jones pre-injury was like so far clear ahead of Bryce Young that like now they're on the same level, but like I don't know. I mean,
right.
Yeah,
I guess like how much is the Achilles going to affect a quarterback? I mean, obviously like Cousins never really recovered, but he was so old and probably like losing his arm strength and everything like that. So I don't think that's a really fair comparison. I can't think of any other quarterbacks offhand that were like younger and suffered an Achilles injury. So yeah, I'm not really sure like how much that's going to hinder him next season and into the future. I mean, I don't think it's the end of the world. I mean, Daniel Jones does have some mobility. I mean, it's not like the biggest part of his game. So it's not like it's like happening to Lamar Jackson or something like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm looking up their points per game on the season. Okay, so Daniel Jones, in terms of points per game this season, is the quarterback 14 at 18.9 points per game. So just call it 19. Also, I think that probably includes that includes the game he got injured where he just scored like not even a point and this past week. So if you take that out, it's probably like, a few points higher. So it's probably more like 21, something like that. And then for Bryce Young, let's see, I got to scroll down a bit here. Okay, Bryce Young, 15.3. So if you remove the injured game, it's probably going to be like, basically like 21 to 15, let's call it, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I just did the calculation. 22 points per game exactly on Danny Dimes.
Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah, even more. So yeah, 22, basically 22 to 15.
The craziest part is it's 15, like, 15 points per game. Like I don't know what it said 16.3 for me in there, but it's probably because the interceptions are different. But yeah, 15, 16, whatever points you get per game.
Because like in this league, like you get like the negative sacks for scoring. I could calculate it real quick for this league specifically.
Yeah, and the craziest part is that Bryce Young has had like 3 monster games, or like at least, especially doesn't he have like 2 like absolute monster games, and he's still only at like
he has. I'm pretty sure he has 3 of them. I'll pull up in a sec.
He's got some monster games, and he's still at like 16 points per game. I mean, that's wild. And by the way, for anyone just tuning in, sorry, we're just doing a season end review. We're talking about our portfolio. We're talking about Dan's. Yeah, he got a trade offer now about Daniel Dimes and Bryce Young, and then we'll get to the chat in a moment here. Thanks for everyone.
Yeah, so I'm calculating. Yeah, I'm calculating right now. Okay, 246. Yeah, basically -1. So yeah, 245, and then divided by, let's see how many games would that be? 14 minus the bye week minus the game he got injured, so 12. Okay. So in this particular league, since you lose points for sacks, Daniel Jones points per game with the game he got injured removed is basically 20.4.
Okay, so he took more sacks.
Yeah. So 20.4 compared to, what was it, 15.3. So basically call it, 5 points per game more in this specific scoring. But now you throw in the Achilles injury and being a little uncertain about how that affects a quarterback. I'll probably ask a question for Dr. Fortunes. I'm gonna have to ask my dad about that. But yeah, what are your initial thoughts? Is it kind of a toss up between Daniel Jones and Bryce Young right now if you're rebuilding?
Yeah, I mean, again, I wish I knew a little bit more. Maybe we can refer to Dr. Fortune on his professional opinion.
Yeah.
As long as we're not expecting Daniel Jones to be just like absolutely nothing next year, I'll probably just take my chance on him. Like at this very moment, that's how I'm feeling about it. But here's the thing.
Because if you think about it, one of these quarterbacks has been great this year, or at least really, really good.
Yeah.
And the other has been up and down at best.
It wouldn't even be close. Like, I mean, again, for reference, like you would have been super happy in that league to have like, Daniel Jones as your starter.
Oh my God. I might have made the playoffs if I had him instead of Bryce Young.
Like Bryce
knowing me every week. So.
And like in this league, you were just like sitting Bryce Young, like at certain points. So like,
I don't even think I captured any like the big weeks, other than like the last one, just because I had like no other healthy quarterbacks left, and I finally had to start them, and so I think I only captured one of the 3 big weeks from Bryce Young.
Yeah. Now the thing is too is that it's that owner he needs he needs a quarterback. So like I do think you should probably get something on top just because he needs a quarterback and he's in the playoffs. So I mean. If you can get really anything on top, I'd be pretty happy. But you could just kind of push your limit, see what it is. So that's
I won't make a decision right now. Like I'll talk to my dad first, and then I'll probably either accept or probably more likely send a counter, see if I can get a little something added, or at least get something for the Parkinson part of it. But just thought I would get your thoughts on that, and kind of a good excuse to talk about the Daniel Jones injury. Anyways, which because it was pretty significant. But you want to dive into the live chat here?
Yeah, absolutely. We got let's get it. It was the first one in here. What's up? How's it going? And
good for you.
How did the week go for you there? Let's get it. And he also says, "What are we thinking here? He's torn. Needs a running back. Needs a receiver and a flex. Kyron, Henderson, Marks. I believe Chubb is questionable for this game as he was ruled out. Brian Thomas, Judy, Slayton, or Mechie. And then, Marvin Harrison, who is questionable. So, that's super interesting. Yeah.
Let's do one at a time here. So, one running back. So, which running back do you like here? Kyron, Henderson. Let's look at the matchups too. So, Kyron is home against the Lions. They've been really good against running backs this year, but at the same time, the game's in LA, and I mean, maybe it should, but like that matchup just doesn't personally scare me that much.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the emergence of Blake Corum would be a bigger concern, but I'm not really that scared of the matchup. Maybe I'd be a little more scared if it was in Detroit, but I'm not too worried about it. But Henderson's got a great matchup against the Bills. Here, let me check if it's home or away. Looks like it is. If I can find it. Why can't I find it? Oh, at New England. Okay. Henderson home against the Bills, or Kyron Williams home against the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, Hendy stands out, but then, of course, but Marks, I mean, he just came off 26 carries, a good fantasy game against KC, which is obviously a terrible matchup.
I meant to mention Woody Marks, and he's got a really good matchup home against the Cardinals, and to your point, he's coming off that good game, so I do think you need to consider all 3 there.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm actually really wanting to lean away from Kyron just off of basically all the reports. That's one big miss that we had last week when a lot of people were asking about Corum with some of these other flexible, nice matchups.
Mm-hmm.
We knew the workload was going to be up. Definitely wasn't expecting like 126, and he only did have 12 carries, but I mean, it was nearly a 50% rush share. It went up about 10% because he was sitting around 40% before. He just was really extremely efficient with that. So. Hopefully you guys had him in there despite us telling you to put other guys ahead of him. But I mean, really, like, I think you got to be careful of that in Kyron. He's obviously playable, but Hendy or Marks, I would personally favor for upside. And Marks coming off 26 plus touches. If Chubb's out, hell, I might even prefer him just straight off volume. I'm not exactly sure yet. And also, one thing I should say here is on these, because we're in playoffs and these start sets, I'm not going to be afraid to say, come back on Saturday and ask us again how we feel. So
right. Oh yeah, 100%.
There's a lot of stuff still up in the air with these injuries and
yeah, and Woody Marks is on the injury report. He's currently listed as questionable. He didn't practice on Wednesday. I mean, he's been kind of low key banged up a lot this season. I mean, you mentioned that he seems to like leave like every game and then but then like come back and finish the game. So I don't know what's up with that, but yeah. So I mean, we'll see if that's something to be concerned about at all. I mean, I'm not too concerned at this point. I mean, if he misses practice tomorrow, okay, I'll have an eyebrow raised, but not too concerned about it yet. But yeah, also, I mean, you mentioned, obviously, with this being like round one of the playoffs, start of the playoffs here, I do think it changes my start-sit philosophy a little bit. Like, not drastically, but when in doubt, I am falling back on my best players. I'm falling back on the players who have been best this season, who have gotten me to this point, who have taken me to the playoffs and got me here. For the most part, I just want to ride those horses and ignore matchups as much as I can. You know what I mean? Like, it'll still be a tiebreaker, and I'm still going to factor in my gut feeling. But I swear, I mean, it's just one thing that's taken me a long time to learn, but I feel like I finally have, is when you get to the fantasy playoffs, like, starting your best guys is just generally going to lead to the best outcomes. Now, that would probably be Kyren, but I do think that could be a little mitigated by the emergence of Blake Corum and the split, because you're not necessarily starting the same Kyren Williams that you had like the first half of the season.
Yeah, they just flat out said like it's going to be more Blake Corum until playoffs are saving him. So I mean, that's big time.
When you say more Blake Corum, you mean more Blake Corum than it had been, or more Blake Corum than Kyren Williams?
As in we saw this week, more Blake Corum than we had seen previously, which was 40%. Then it went up to 50%. So like rush share. So yeah, I mean, I think you got to go with the ascending guys at least over them. I mean, just because you have the two, but obviously Kyron's still a good play. He could fall in the end zone.
Yeah.
Have some volume.
Yeah, so who do you think is the best player here then?
I mean, if Chubb's out, like, I think you just got to go on the touches, hopefully catches a couple passes and falls in the end zone with Marks. But yeah, I mean, Henderson, I do not want to say like sit Henderson in the fantasy playoffs. Great matchup.
And in a great matchup against the Bills. I mean, that's definitely a scary prospect.
The pass catching, all that stuff is kind of resurrected there on him as well. So, Yeah, I mean, I want to play like those two guys in my running back and my flex, and then I want to pick a receiver from there. Is how I'm feeling.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it might even be a moot point, but yeah, I think for the moment I slightly agree with slightly lean toward Marks, but yeah, it's really close with Henderson there. So how about one receiver? Who's your favorite receiver of these? We have BTJ, and here I'm pulling up the schedule. He is home against the Jets, so solid matchup there. And then we have Jerry Jeudy. I mean, I don't think the matchup matters. Slayton has a nice matchup against the Commanders, and then Mechie is a nice matchup against the Jaguars. Yeah. So, yeah, which of those three do you like best? BTJ, Slayton, or Mechie?
He even has Marvin Harrison, who is questionable. I'm not too sure about him. But he's against Houston, which is like, I mean, just a brutal matchup. I mean, to be honest, the options are just like so poor across the board that like, I would actually consider just like firing up Marv if he is healthy. I would not feel good about it. I also wouldn't feel too good about playing all these other guys. I mean, Mechie, you cannot play him if he's got Brady Cook or Adrian Martinez.
Oh God, right? Yeah, our boy Adrian Martinez, right?
My Lord. So
who is back on the Jets now? If you were confused there, because we said in the last stream, you're like, oh wait, no, he's on the 49ers now. And then but apparently they released him yesterday, and he signed to the Jets practice squad. So go figure.
I just went to the Discord to say that earlier, and then you had already said it.
I had already beat you to
it. Tagged. What's it? No, not KO. Shoot, I'm completely blanking on his name, but his name's Alejandro on the Discord.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you said you're never wrong, just early.
Yeah. So no, I mean, look, on the receivers here, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm just gonna cop out to say, if Marv's healthy, just play him for now. This is a Saturday question for me. I need to look more into this. Genuinely, in my own teams, I might unironically be considering starting Slayton in here if Marv's out, and honestly, I'd be hoping Marv's out.
I don't hate it.
He's actually had some splash plays in like touchdowns that have been called back, by the way.
Really?
And just brutal. One I think was a pass or not a pass interference. One was like some phantom holding, and another one was an OPI that was not an OPI. I've just noticed that over when the games he was healthy. So he has been a little bit better than the box scores will suggest. But man, BTJ's his numbers were a little bit bounce backy. So I mean, I don't know. I've been saying to start BTJ, and he's just been doing nothing. Like, so I'm gonna be careful there as well.
I don't want to go down with Brian Thomas with how awful he's been this season. So that doesn't feel good. I did hear an interesting stat about Marv. Because I mean, of course, like the big thing I'm wondering is a Marv truther here, and I've hated how he gets injured. He has the freaking appendectomy right at the time where like Brissett's in there and is like heating up and everything like that. And it sucks that we haven't known like what Marv would have done in those games. Would he be doing like what Michael Wilson has done? And the interesting stat I heard about Marv came from Fantasy Points, of course, but they said that in the game where Marv came back, what was that, like 2 weeks ago or whenever it was, he came back and of course he gets re-injured in the game, I believe in the third quarter. But prior to getting re-injured, in that game, Marv had 7 targets. Michael Wilson had 3 targets. Now, I'm not saying that's some like huge accomplishment. I mean, of course, like Marv should be a much better receiver than Michael Wilson. But I mean, Wilson has been lighting up the stat sheet lately, been amazing for fantasy. And so, for anyone who want to make jokes about like, I mean, even Blake, I mean, you said, of course, you any opportunity to hate on Marv, but I can't remember where you said it, but like, you're like, Marv would never have done this, I don't know how serious you were about that, but we do have.
I don't think he's not putting up 6 yards per run or whatever the hell Michael Wilson's doing. Michael Wilson's like literally playing like freaking Megatron right now. I mean, it's insane. But
I mean, hey, the stats speak for himself. So credit to Michael Wilson. Definitely no diss on him. But I mean, when Marv came back, he was out targeting him by more than 2-1. So I do think Marv is. I mean, it's such a brutal matchup against the Texans who just shut down the Chiefs offense and everything like that. So I know it doesn't feel good. But man, I mean, if Marv is the number 1 receiver attached to Jacoby Brissett, I can't believe I'm saying that as a positive here. But I mean, Brissett's been on fire. He hasn't had 1 game below 20 points. We thought it might be this past week because, no Marv, no Greg Dortch, doesn't have many guys to throw to. He still lit up, what was it, the Rams this past week? We thought it was finally going to be a dud for Brissett. Nope, he did it again. So even with limited pass catchers. So I do think Marv is tough to set. Despite the matchup, despite it being his first game back, if he's healthy.
No, that's why I agree. That's what I said. That's why I'm like actually hilariously enough, like that's probably my favorite guy if he's actually back.
Yeah.
Because I do just think based off what we've seen, there's just too much evidence that they just go right back to Marv when Michael Wilson is back. I mean, I think it's at least a little bit up in the air. Obviously, it was a small sample, but I don't know what's going on there in Arizona. They've had kind of a really nice garbage time scam going there as well. I guess there would be a little bit of a concern. Maybe just a really crappy game between them and KC.
It could be. And I'm all for starting Slayton if Marv is ruled out.
I don't want to start Slayton, though. So, let's just say this. Marv, and then if he's not playing, check in Saturday. I feel like that's all we can say here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and Slayton hasn't gotten a lot of targets, but I mean, he can like pop off for like a random 100-yard game at any time. And I do like hearing that, he's had some bad luck and had some like touchdowns or big plays called back. So that makes me feel a little better about him. And even though I'm not trying to emphasize the matchup this week, I do love the matchup against the Commanders. So wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if Marv was out. But I think you got to start Marv if he's active and the reports are at least decent. And how about the flex? Are you going with
I'm going with those two
Tyron?
Yeah, I'm going with Hendy and Marks right now. Just those two guys right now.
I think I agree. Yeah, I'm good with that. So, okay, yeah, so I hope that helps. Hey, we got Todd's Real Lawn in here. Welcome. He says, all I want to say is I wish I started Tim Patrick this week. Oh, Lord. And that's even more hilarious because, Blake, I remember you texted me on Sunday saying that Patrick is lighting it up. And, I was thinking back to whatever stream that was where Todd had called who was it, Troy Franklin. He accidentally called him like Patrick, and we were trying to figure out the whole stream, like, who the hell is Patrick? And we're like, it couldn't possibly be Tim Patrick. No, somehow it was Troy Franklin. But then, funny enough, on Sunday, Tim Patrick goes off randomly. So
yeah, that was the Saturday night stream. And Todd, you were onto something there. Tim Patrick was wide receiver 1 last week.
Hey, that's the Patrick you should have started, right?
That it was the right answer. We should have stuck with Tim Patrick when we were questioning it. Todd, I don't know, man. You're always getting in here when we're talking about Peterman. You're bringing up Tim Patrick before he's a wide receiver 1. There's something special going on there, you know.
Right.
You're like one of those like 8-ball like things where it like gives you the secret whatever message. Yeah, the magic 8-ball. That's what you're feeling like right now, Todd. Like I don't know what kind of secret sauce you got going on there to.
Yeah, we got to start asking Todd who should we start this week.
Yeah, hell, I mean, imagine. I hope someone out there started Tim Patrick and got to capture that.
Yeah, maybe like someone in a 32-man league or something like that. But anyways, to finish Todd's comment here, he says, wish I had started Tim Patrick this week. I guess by me mistaking him for Franklin made him come to fruition. This week I'm channeling Philip Rivers, and he's got a couple of laughing emojis. Yeah, that's hilarious. I still can't believe Philip Rivers is attempting to come back.
We haven't even talked about that. Like, that is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I'm all for it.
44 years old. He's older than me. Yeah. So, like, that is not good.
I'm all for it.
I saw you picking him up in a bunch of leagues, spending some fab on him. I mean, I don't know if he's starting anytime soon because it looks like, what's his name? The backup for Daniel Jones, the rookie. What's his name? Can't remember. But
Leonard?
Yeah. Leonard is off the injury report. So I'm assuming he's going to start. Maybe if he completely craps the bed, maybe we see Philip Rivers like in week 16, perhaps. Mm-hmm. Also, Anthony Richardson, I can't remember the specifics now, but I think there was some update on his injury where he was like, I don't know if you've seen at practice or something. I'll pull it up real quick. But do you hear anything about that?
He was not like practicing. He was just at practice. I don't know. I'm just kind of assuming he's gonna play. To be honest, like I know Riley Leonard's, I know Riley Leonard's practicing, but like. I think they want to get Philip Rivers out there. Why else are they bringing him? If they're not, I mean, obviously they could bring him in for, and maybe he does actually have a chance to miss this week. I've seen conflicting reports. That's why I'm unsure. I'm not. It doesn't even matter for fantasy really.
But I'm sorry. You've seen conflicting reports on what specifically?
Completely conflicting reports right now on Rivers, whether he's going to play because Leonard is practicing.
I see. Yeah.
But
also the blurb on Sleeper about Anthony Richardson, and says he was present at Wednesday's practice for the first time in weeks. Yeah. James Boyd of The Athletic reports.
Yeah, he was just present.
The coach says he's not going to be activated this week, but he hasn't been ruled out for the season.
Yeah, present, but not not actually participating.
Oh, so he wasn't actually practicing?
Yeah, no pads, nothing, just standing.
Oh, okay.
Rivers.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I did see a little clip on of like Rivers, like, throwing the ball. I mean, it wasn't more than like 15 yards or so. So I don't know if he can throw farther than that, but maybe not too much further, but I don't know. I mean, that sounds like a disaster. I mean, that's so random. He hasn't played since 2020. And it's 5 years ago.
I think 5 years ago. This could be some magic. I'm going to put my foot down. I think that, dude, anytime this happens, I swear that there's that magic potential. I'm trying to think. It's just like, I don't know. It's like Eric Weddle coming back with the what was it? Did he come at the Ravens or the Chargers one year in the playoffs? I think I don't know if he had a decent one. There's just something about it. It feels good. I want Philip Rivers to succeed. I don't care if it's unlikely. Mm-hmm. I actually think he's an upgrade to Riley Leonard. Call me crazy. I think as a Jonathan Taylor owner, you want Philip Rivers back there. Wow. I think as an Alec Pierce owner, you want Philip Rivers back there.
Oh well. Okay, yeah, I guess that's fair. I'm looking back at his game log from his last season in 2020. It's actually like not nearly as bad as I remembered. I mean, like actually a decent number of 300 and 200-yard passing games and bunch of 2 and 3 touchdown passing touchdown games. So yeah, I kind of remembered it being a kind of a disastrous season for him that final season with. It was with the Colts, right?
They made the playoffs. I'm pretty sure that year.
Okay, so was it? So I guess my memory is failing me here. I guess it wasn't that bad of a year for him.
I think that he had a pretty good year. That was one of his better years. Maybe not
Wow.
one of his best, but
okay, yeah. But I guess I'm just completely misremembering that because I pulled up the game. Like it's actually pretty decent, but it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was 5 years ago. You know what? I don't know, but here's the thing. I did hear that he basically played with Shane Steichen before, and I don't know. They're saying he kind of built this offense, like playing with Rivers as the quarterback. So I don't know. I mean, it just sounds like magic to me.
Okay.
Here's my bold prediction: if he starts this week, 202, he's gonna put up. I don't know how. It's a terrible matchup. He's 44 years old. He's a grandpa. I don't care. He's putting up 202. I'm all for the Philip Rivers. Am I gonna start him anywhere? No, but I am going to have him as my third and fourth quarterback, or even fifth, in Superflex, just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case.
So you're saying 202 passing yards, to be clear.
200 passing yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha. I mean, yeah, maybe that first week back on adrenaline, maybe he has one good game in him. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're making me think it's not the craziest thing ever, but I mean, I love a good fantasy zombie. So I'd love to see it. It'd be fun.
He is the definition of that right now.
Oh my God, yeah. But yeah, I mean, has there ever been a player in the NFL older than 44? I mean, maybe a kicker, but that's really pushing it.
Yeah, Brady was 44 or 45 when he retired, but he was technically older. I saw.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. But yeah, back to the live chat here. Okay, let's get it. Says also Broncos or Bears D, leaning Bears, but not because they're good. LOL. Yeah, Bears defense isn't that great. Let's see. Wait, who are the Broncos playing? They're playing
the Broncos play the Green Bay Packers.
Okay, so yeah, not a matchup you feel great about there. And the Bears. Oh yeah, the Bears have a good matchup this week, don't they? They are home with the Browns.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very tempted to play the Bears defense there.
Yeah.
I would really just say if you got a philosophy though of playing the better defense in a tough matchup or playing a bad defense,
if there's one position that does not apply to, it's defense.
No, exactly. I am more of the Bears, just target these shitters and these Cam Wards and stuff, and
yeah.
I mean, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's probably not gonna, it's not guaranteed to work out at all against Green Bay or whatever with the Broncos.
For what it's worth, Fantasy Points was talking about the big Shedeur Sanders game, which kind of came out of nowhere. They basically were saying that it was the flukiest big game ever. That the Titans, it was all kind of broken plays and missed coverages and just yards after the catch.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think I really even saw any of the game. But it was interesting hearing that breakdown. So I do think you can kind of factor that in a little bit, and I still think that's a pretty good matchup. The Bears at home against the Browns. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's what my philosophy with the defense is going that Bears route, and it's burnt me a couple times. I started against a couple defenses against Bryce Young when he went nuts, but for the most part, it's been pretty good. So I mean, that's been my philosophy. I would lean that way.
Yeah, I'm going to lean toward the Bears there as well. I just don't want any part of Jordan Love and that passing offense right now. So many good receivers, and hey, I had a pretty good call on Christian Watson. I mean, I was definitely, I don't know. Can I say I don't know if I was quite pounding the table for him, but anytime he came up, I was like, I'm a believer. I liked him coming out. He's having a really good season. Jordan Love is hot, because it's Toyotathon. It's that time of year for him. So I'm just, again, he has another big game. What do you have, 2 touchdowns? So, that was at least one good call I had, last week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, he just keeps doing it. I don't know how many catches he ended with. I think he had 4 for 2 touchdowns, at least.
Yeah. So, I mean, it doesn't feel great in terms of the volume and everything, but I think you just have to believe at this point.
Yeah. He's just been so efficient. And apologies to our new sub there. Shoot, I'm blanking on his name completely from Saturday.
Yeah.
Where, he said he was going to play Watson over all these amazing receivers.
Jefferson and yeah.
No way in hell I'm doing that. Well, what did Justin Jefferson do? Scored another 3 points or something like that.
Yeah.
My Lord. So, I don't know.
Well,
maybe at this point,
you almost talked me into it over Christian Watson, but then the final tiebreaker for me was I was like, no, you know what? I want to reverse jinx Justin Jefferson. So I'm going to be happy if Jefferson's on my bench scoring points because then I can feel better about it moving forward. So yeah, my final answer was Christian Watson, but you did almost talk me out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can get converted to that. We'll see when the questions keep coming up, but Christian Watson keeps getting it done somehow, some way here.
Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't be afraid to fire up Christian Watson against the Broncos. Don't really care about the matchup, but for defense, I do care about the matchup, and I'm going to start the Bears. So yeah, good question though. And then let's see, we have let's get it saying, fellas, what are we thinking here? Because I'm torn. Oh wait, we read that. Sorry, my bad. Okay, Jacob. He says, yeah, welcome, Jacob. He says, keep Brycey Poo, Sir Dan. Okay. Hey, appreciate the feedback on that trade offer that I received. Yeah, do you care to elaborate on that, Jacob? Okay, well, he does say below, the speculation is Dimes will be 1 year tagged. Okay, as in franchise tagged, I'm assuming? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, that'd probably be good because, I mean, obviously he had a great year for the Colts, so probably, a good thing if he stays there. And then hopefully if he has a good season, earns a contract extension. If not, I don't know, there'll probably be someone wanting to sign him after that if he's not, too bad. But yeah, I mean, I this injury notwithstanding, I mean, I do think the year from Daniel Jones was legit. And outside of the injury, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't continue, at least once he gets past that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, next comment here, we got Tadra Lonnie says, he also says, keep Bryce Young. Danny may never be the same. Quarterbacks are not the same after that injury. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Again, I'm at that.
Think of anyone other than Cousins. So I mean, I would.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, maybe I'll Google that and kind of see like what other historical quarterbacks come up.
Rodgers,
yeah, of course. Todd, if you have any that in mind, like feel free to drop those in the chat. But I'll have to do some research here.
Yeah, of course, Rodgers, who the same year. That's all.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, both obviously Rodgers and Cousins are so old that I think it's hard to use those as like really good examples.
Yeah,
but
Rodgers always fell off. Honestly, at least we're getting like the same Rodgers as pre like Achilles his last season in Green Bay. I think he was like this bad or this good or whatever.
I mean, Rodgers has been like okay this season, right? I mean, he hasn't been terrible.
Yeah, he's had his moments.
Yeah, he's had a few big games, like 4 touchdown games and that kind of thing. So
he's ancient.
And then hey, we got Camex in here. He says, "Yo, what's up, y'all? Good to see you in here." And Todd's Real Lawn says the best ability is availability, and Dimes has had season-ending injuries in all 3 of his years. Well, he's been playing for more than 3 years, so
he's had 3 different season-ending because he had the ACL and he had the neck. So yeah, I mean it has been an issue with him. It's certainly something to worry about, but I suppose to me, unless here's the thing, if you do believe Bryce Young can just be not as bad as he's been this year, then I completely get going Bryce Young. He's healthy. But the issue is even when he's healthy, he's been just literally nuking your lineups. So like, yeah, I do agree. If you want your quarterback or in Dynasty to be healthy, but when they are healthy and they aren't helping you or still hurting you, like I would actually just rather them be hurt. So like I can then insert some other player in my lineup and not be getting nuked, especially in a league like that where you can kind of score negative points with a quarterback if they're getting sacked and stuff like that. I know how like.
Oh yeah, I mean Bryce was taking some sacks in some of those games, and he was like a true liability. I mean, like I could pull up his game log, but I mean there were like multiple games I'm pretty sure where he was scoring like less than 5 points because of that scoring. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah, I think there was even some where he kind of like got back up to like 10 or 11 maybe, but he was like negative all game or something. And
right. Oh my god, yeah, like you were tracking the game and the fantasy points, like you were not a happy camper.
Yeah, because I remember seeing one specifically. I don't. Maybe it was that game where Renfro scored the touchdowns or something, where the 2 touchdowns where he somehow dug himself out of a big hole.
Okay.
But, anyways, I agree. You want a healthy quarterback, but like when the healthy quarterback is like, doing what Bryce Young had done, I don't really care about that. You know what I mean? Like
and then I pull up his game log in this specific league. Weeks 9 and 10. In week 9 he had a 1 point, and in week 10 he had -1 point. So that's what we're talking about there.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't really care if players are hurt. Obviously, I know it's different with Dimes. We know he's hurt right now with an Achilles. That's a big deal. That's why it's closer. But I'd rather a guy be getting banged up so I could just know to remove him from my lineup, but then be really good when they're hurt. and just kind of build.
Or when they're healthy.
Yeah, and build some depth behind them. So.
Yeah, so maybe if I can get something on top, I think I might be willing to do something there. But yeah, I got to do a little more research. But yeah, appreciate everyone's feedback on that. Hey, we got Michael Harden here. He says, yo, what's up, my bros? Yeah, good to see you. And then Michael says, missed you guys last week. Never got the notification. YouTube shadow banning you guys? LOL, just kidding. Got it tonight, though.
Nice.
Hey, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't have gotten the notification. Yeah, hopefully we're not being shadow banned. But
we're getting too big, man.
We're getting too big. We're just getting too big. YouTube's onto us. They're trying to hold us down, but hey, we just can't be contained. So yeah, I'm glad you got it tonight, Michael. It's good to see you. And we got Todd's Real Lawn saying Kyren or Harvey. All right, Broncos are playing the Packers. I think you got to go Harvey, right?
I'm going Harvey all day.
Yeah.
He was the number one running back in expected fantasy points last week. And of course, Gibbs had more and stuff. I think he was maybe the RB2. I think he was the RB2 last week. He made exactly of his opportunity. The pass catching is there. It's impossible to sit Harvey right now, truly.
By the way, do you know what running back is leading rookie running backs in fantasy points this season?
It's got to be Harvey.
I'm pretty sure it's Harvey.
It's got to be Harvey. I mean, he was getting those chunk plays and those touchdowns early on.
Yep.
And I think he was RB4 and RB2 the last 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah. So, and just sort of like a regular, basic full PPR scoring, I pulled up here. Looks like he's the RB20 on the season. And let's see, where is Ashton Genty? Wait, is Genty ahead of him? Here, I'll let me find it real quick. Oh, actually, wait, Genty is ahead of him. Okay, I got some bad information then. Okay, on the season, Genty has 183 points, and Harvey has 151. Okay, so I got some bad information.
I thought it would be. Yeah, I thought it would actually be closer than that, to be honest.
Yeah, and actually, Judkins is even ahead of Harvey, just by like 4 points. He has 155. So, okay, so I guess Genty is 1, and then Judkins 2, Harvey 3. This is just total points. Henderson 4, and let's see, Scatabo 5, even though he hasn't played in a while. Yes. And then Woody Mark 6, Kyle Monangai 7. So if anyone was interested.
Yeah, I saw a crazy Scatabo one, like of him being just so good. I forget what it was. Not playing since whatever week it was that he got hurt. And another one with Tucker Kraft that he finished as like the tight end 12 or something. Maybe that was like normal settings, like half or full PPR. The tight end 12, and he hadn't played since like week whatever it was, man. I don't even remember what week he got hurt either. Week 9 or something like that. Or
Scatabo, he got hurt in week 8.
And Tucker Kraft, like hit him a couple weeks later. Yeah, finished as a tight end 1, like missing a bunch of games. So I mean, just pretty impressive stuff from those guys that got hurt. RJ Harvey, Todd, we got to go with Mr. Harvey there.
Yeah. Hey, we got Seben here. Good to see you. He says, I can't wait for Tua to be potentially traded. And turns out, just like Danny Dimes / Stafford, Baker, and many more, to make that break room trade look elite, to stick it to all the haters. Take risks, boys. Hey, I love it. That's a great comment, Seb. Yeah, actually, I was chatting with Seb on the phone last night, and that topic came up. And I was kind of like, like that's actually like a really interesting thought. Like, I think that's actually like Tua could actually be a really sneaky candidate to be like the next in the lineage of those guys. So I actually think that's a really interesting call there.
It's interesting because normally those guys, like, because he had the early season success, which normally those guys don't have. And I've also had this thought too, which is why I actually liked him at his price going into the offseason, right, in Superflex. The issue is he's like, just with a really good offensive coordinator already, I believe in McDaniel. I know that it's been a rocky road for just the Dolphins in general, but he's keeping his job still, and we've seen what they can do when.
But dude, I mean,
to his own.
There's a difference between real life and fantasy. With the Dolphins, I mean, okay, yeah, maybe it's working decently in real life to keep them, their heads above water and in the playoff hunt and everything, and like credit to them for that. But it's been horrible for fantasy because they have a really slow pace of play and they're barely throwing the ball. So it's like it's a horrible situation for fantasy production.
Yeah, I mean, that's the issue, right? It's like you're seeing that. So yeah, I haven't looked into why that's happening. I guess they're just they're winning games doing it. They were winning games throwing the ball 40 times a game, or 47 or something last year. It's night and day from what they were doing.
Right.
So yeah, if you could tell me the attempts are going to come back up, it's certainly possible. I mean, that's why I liked him to begin with, but. I
mean, we've seen Tua be good before. I mean, we've seen him throw for like 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. I don't know. I'd have to pull up his stats from his career, but I mean, he's had good seasons before. So I do think there's hope for Tua, and I do think he's a sneaky buy low. I mean, what would you be looking to pay for him in a dynasty league?
Like nothing more than like a mid second, basically like a mid second, and I'll throw you like some Torrey Horton type guy or something like that, or I don't know, something along those lines. Like I don't want to even be touching like a first round range, like obviously, but even early second.
Seb and I did send you an offer in Waste Management. It's still pending. Did you have any thoughts on that? Seb, oh yeah, it was Tua for a second and Daniel Jones.
Oh yeah, I did see that one. Yeah, okay. I was no. Like Daniel Jones is straight up because Tua is actually a downgrade to our lineup, putting him in there. I think we're better off just super flexing, Juwan Johnson.
Linebacker, receiver, yeah.
Yeah, he would be scoring more points. So.
Yeah, I mean, if the Dolphins were actually throwing the ball and not playing at such a slow pace, like might be a different story. But yeah, given the reality of that, I hear you.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then we got Michael Hart saying, I would like to ask you guys a question, but it's not a typical start sit, LOL. So last night I tried to drop Tootin and pick up Corum. Well, when I checked the waiver report, I observed that some idiot that didn't make the playoffs in my league dropped a kicker and picked him up before I could. And I'm pretty sure I would have gotten him based upon the way it looked. Oh, Lord, that is brutal. That is just brutal.
Oh, and he continues.
If there are no incentives for non-playoff teams to like still win money. I know that's, that'd be a pretty rare thing if there was, although actually in my home league, we have that. There's a $20 prize for winning each of, there's, $20 prize for being the top scorer week 15, one for week 16, one for week 17. Something I put in just for fun, just to make the season a little longer for those eliminated. Because also I do think it gets kind of weird when, maybe this is a hot take or whatever, but it's kind of weird when on waivers, like you get into the playoffs and then it's just like a few teams fighting for like the players. I don't know. It just sort of seems to like be different than it was all season when like every team was like competing for those players. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's just something that my league does, but yeah, what are your thoughts on this in general and specifically Michael's situation there? It seems pretty cheesy.
Yeah, I don't know. Once I was doing a league for my uncle, not even calling me, I was just running his team for him, basically as a work league.
Right.
And the issue is that if the guy's out of the playoffs, you're not playing for anything. I don't know. I really don't have an opinion if you should or should not pick it up. But the issue is people can then can text their friend, or if it's one of those.
Right. Oh yeah, pick up this guy to block my opponent.
They
colluded.
They colluded. A guy that hadn't used any fab all year dumped $1 more than I had for Grendo last year when he was coming to be the starter. And they legitimately colluded. My uncle had I saw that and I was like, wow. And then obviously I knew what they did. But then my uncle had texted me and was like, there's this whole thing going on at work. These guys colluded to not let you get Grendo. And anyways, so I think that's the issue with it, is that you can get these. You can basically get collusion. I don't know. I don't know if you want to call it collusion, but it's someone getting an advantage.
It is collusion. That's the definition of collusion if they actually specifically planned it. So exactly. I do think that your league, every league should have bylaws, and there should be a bylaw that bans that, unless there's some other prize that they can win by being the top scorer in the week still or whatever, in my league. But most leagues don't have that. So there probably should just be a bylaw banning that, and that's why you should have bylaws in every league.
If they're playing for literally anything, then you gotta just let them pick it up. But if they're just, especially when they've just been checked out and they're just picking up, whatever, like a Blake Corum.
Yeah, like especially if it's someone that like hasn't made a pickup since like week 7, and then all of a sudden they're dropping all their fab on this guy. Like that's pretty suspicious. But honestly, if they're eliminated and there's nothing left to play for, they should not be picking up anybody. Honestly.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Michael was saying that he was furious. He went to the group chat, asked the commissioner, what to do about the matter, and then he said that the commissioner told him that Michael was beat and worried, telling him that they were doing the same thing in his other league. Also, that people make side bets, and there's nothing he can do about it.
Oh, so, come on. That's a reach.
Good Lord, yeah. What a joke.
Side bets, give me a break.
I asked for opinions on 2 other podcasts today, and the host told me they agree with me that it should be allowed, and that the commission, need to do something about it.
Wait, that it should or shouldn't?
Or I guess that it shouldn't be allowed, and the commission needs to do something about it. Yeah, I mean, it's very tough when there's like no bylaws. I just think it's just like I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? Like if I'm out of playoffs, like I'm just leaving my waivers off. Like there's no need to do that.
But honestly, like if I were a commissioner, because actually, I mean, I kind of feel like a hypocrite here, because technically I don't think I actually have bylaws for my home league. I mean, we've never really even needed it, just because it's like good guys that I know, and that kind of thing. So technically we don't have bylaws, and if that happened, as long as, because we play on ESPN, as long as there's something on ESPN that as commissioner allows me to overrule that, I think I would feel inclined to overrule that in that situation, because that just does not seem right to me.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it honestly, if you're just out of playoffs, not playing for anything, you should just be locked out. Probably. It's not something I've really had to even think about much, because it never really happens. It did happen to me once where a guy was in like a 6th place matchup and cost me a trip to the finals because he picked up Jahan Dotson in a useless, in his own useless matchup. He was already again eliminated.
Right.
And Jahan Dotson ended up being like wide receiver 1 that week, and I didn't get to use him. So I definitely understand the frustration.
Yeah, so personally, if I'm the commission in that situation, even without bylaws, I'm just overruling that. You know what I mean? Like, what matters more? Like the person in the playoffs getting screwed, or someone with a potential theoretical side bet not having Blake Corum in their lineup? Like, who the hell cares? Like, I'm overruling that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Hope that helps. But that does suck if they're not going to do anything about that. But hey, feel free to send them a link to our live stream and. Okay, what's the time code here? I don't know. Take note of the time code right now, and you can tell them to, watch at this point that we're talking about it, But it does really suck.
Yeah, and then Let's Get It was asking when we're talking about Henderson in the start sits. Should you be concerned about Stevenson? And I really do think you should be concerned about the workload. Like it built up. It looks like they're about 50-50 share of what we can tell. I'd be worried, but I would just let Steve Hendy's talent just hopefully take over in a great matchup.
And by the way, we got 14 people watching right now. Definitely drop us a like if you would be so kind, and make sure you're subbed. We got some really great support. We hit that like goal of 13 on the Saturday night stream. So I don't know if we want to have one for this stream. I guess we'd have to come up with some kind of reward. So maybe we can think about that. But in the meantime, just drop us a like, and we'll figure out some way to.
Maybe we'll take some suggestions if anyone wants to see anything or anything along those lines.
Or something that you want us to talk about more in depth, or I don't know, or hey, even if you have an idea for some kind of reward that we guys could give you, drop that in the chat. But appreciate all the support, and sorry to cut you off, Blake, but was there more to that comment?
No, I think we're good. I see that Todd was saying Rivers and Warren this week. Oh yeah, that's right. That's a really good thing for Warren. I think as well with Rivers. I was saying. I think it's a good thing for all the Colts. Positional guys. Maybe I'm wrong. But he says the Bills knocked. They knocked Rivers out of the playoffs his last season with the Colts.
Oh, okay.
I know it wasn't Nathan Peterman that knocked out.
Right.
Knocked out Rivers.
Yeah. And then let's see. We have Michael Hart saying, as well as some people in the comment section too. I've been talking crap kind of all day and night in the chat. I said there's no consolation prize and that no one in our damn league was making side bets. Hey, I love it. I love that you're fighting it. I respect it. Don't go down without putting up some kind of fight there, because I do think that's BS. And then, yeah, Michael adds, apologies for the rant to you guys, though. I know I totally blew up the chat, LMAO. Hey, no worries. Like, I do think that is, something worth talking about. And hey, like, feel free to also drop that in our Discord. We actually have a text channel called Fantasy Court, and that would be a perfect question for that. So feel free to put that in there. You could even like put up a poll and have people vote on like whether that was right or not. So I do think that is a really interesting one. Definitely perfect for Fantasy Court in our Discord. And yeah, link to our Discord is in the description, by the way. So yeah, definitely check that out. Definitely building a good community over there. And then we got Todd's Real Lawn saying, Marino, Rogers, Watson come to mind for me, but you are correct. They were older and things are different now in the medical field. Okay, so you're talking about Achilles injuries? Yeah,
that's
okay.
Right.
So
and we haven't even seen
Marino,
Watson.
that's definitely going back a ways. So, but hey, appreciate the the answer there too. Yeah, who else has suffered that injury?
Yeah, exactly. We haven't even seen Watson back, probably just because they don't want him back. But.
Yeah. And by the way, I just noticed we have a lot of chat to catch up on, so let's try to speed it up here so that we can get to everyone. Appreciate all the comments. Let's get it. Says, on the other hand, like you guys said, Woody Marks seems to hurt himself every other game, which seems risky, but also Chubb is banged up. Hard decisions. But yeah, I think the fact that Woody Marks gets banged up, but then comes right back in, it's almost just kind of like, you sort of, get numb to it after a while. It's like, okay, I guess it doesn't really matter that much. So I don't know. I mean, that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I hope he gets a little banged up next game and comes back in. That's just
I mean, if he scores points like he did last week. So yeah, and he even did that in a tough matchup. So I could see like Marks kind of getting hot here. I think at least this week is a good matchup. So hoping he stays hot. Definitely got a few. Blake and I mean, that was the guy we were like drafting like everywhere in rookie draft.
Yeah, he was due. I mean, he had way too many. Without. I know he was falling on the one and all this, and he hadn't been getting any pass catching work. By the way, I was like dead on the couch with that game going on in the background, and the only thing I can actually remember for that game was like Woody Marks touchdown, and I like looked over and I was like, yes, because I had a really bad stomach flu or food poisoning or something. I don't know. On that Sunday right after the Vikings game, but I was like out cold, and I think I heard like a Nico Collins big play or something. That's all I know, and I think I looked at the score and I knew that that Joshy and I needed Mahomes to score under 20 points or something like that for us to get a first round bye.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that they had like 0 or 10 points or whatever. I don't know. And I was just like, with those little like thought as I could have, my brain was not working. I was just like, yes, like we're going to get the bye probably. I can't even see the fantasy points. Hopefully he didn't run for like 100 yards or something. But
right.
Yeah.
Jacob says, seems like Harvey over Caleb pre-rookie draft was the correct take. I wonder who said that, with a thinking emoji. Yeah, I think I know who Jacob's talking about. I think he's talking about himself there. So, hey, nice call there, Jacob. I was pretty big on Harvey.
Do we know anyone that was actually Caleb over Harvey? I'm sure I know a lot of people, like, especially early on were.
But maybe early on. I feel like that eventually kind of corrected itself, and I think Harvey was like consistently going before Caleb in most rookie drafts by the time we actually got to the rookie drafts. So I don't know if it was that bold of a call, but Jacob's had plenty of other good calls, so either way.
No, yeah, absolutely. I think that was the right call too. Like I also never thought Caleb would be this bad, but like I notably just did not care for Caleb, which ended up being very good, thankfully. But again, I don't even know like what is going on with Caleb. How did he get this down bad? Like,
I know, it's crazy. I mean, I do think, at a certain point, he's going to be a good buy, maybe even now. But we see those year 2 breakouts from running backs. I mean, look at Blake Corum. I do think Caleb Johnson's a pretty good buy if he's cheap enough. And then Jacob says, Seb saying 2 over Ward is bananas. Yeah. People didn't Seb's recent trade in break room.
This is one of those ones where it's like, I don't care about like, okay, well, if you think Tua is worth this or Ward's worth this, well, how is he worth that much? It doesn't matter. I would way rather, especially as a rebuilder, have Cam Ward over Tua. I mean, it's not even close.
Yeah, I agree, but I do think I'd probably like Tua a little bit more than the market. And then, hey, we got Camex in here. He says, being an Odunze and a Buka owner really sucks, LOL. Luckily, the rest of my team is picking up the slack. Yeah, glad to hear it. It is rough. I mean, Ibuka is like, he feels like he's barely even startable at this point. And it's a Thursday game, and Baker's like really banged up. It's apparently the same injury that he had his final season in Cleveland, and we remember that how bad that was. So I'm definitely avoiding Baker and his pass catchers if I can. I'll call it a decent desperation start, but not much better than that is the way I feel.
There's some very good coach speak out on Ibuka right now saying that they're going to try to get him the ball early and often. That they're going to really try and get him involved. So okay. I don't know why this hasn't been happening. Basically him and Rome, I just saw a chart, are just sitting in like with Justin Jefferson in this like tier of their own on this chart where it's like, they just have so many like basically so much opportunity that's just like not catchable and not usable, unfortunately. And it's just unfortunate, you know what I mean? Like they're going out there, they're getting open. Sucks to be that.
Yeah,
for variance. And
the case I could make for Ibuka is three things. One, like the Thursday games have been pretty good this year, unlike most years. The second thing is, in addition to what you mentioned too, if Mike Evans comes back, because we did see Ibuka putting up much better performances when Mike Evans was in there, so that could offer some ray of hope there as well. And then the third thing is that the Falcons, the past 4 games, I believe, are allowing the 5th most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers, which is very different from how things were early in the season. So it actually, kind of low key is a pretty good matchup. More so than you would think looking at, if you look on Sleep or whatever, it might just say, it's like, middle of the road or bad matchup. But recently it's been a good matchup.
By the way, I do want to mention Ibuka, it's not all on Baker. He actually just dropped a wide open touchdown. I think it was like 30 yards or something like that. It was raining out. He just dropped a touchdown. It's just that simple. He actually would have had a good performance had he just caught that one ball.
Okay, fair enough.
He couldn't have been more wide open. He was like in the end zone too. So
at the end of the day, he still dropped it though. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, exactly. It was good to see that he got open. Baker got on the ball.
You figure most times he'll catch it. So definitely.
The fantasy points are there, but not existent.
Right, exactly. I get it. Taj Lawn says Tua's 1 hit away from never playing again. I guess in theory, it depends on how bad the hit is, but I don't necessarily agree that he's 1 concussion away from not playing again.
Yeah, no, I've never been too much of a believer because here's the thing. It's one of those things where we really haven't seen a player, especially in recent memory, just just get smashed over and over again and then actually retire. I know, again, there was like Chris Borland, his like rookie season, get a concussion or whatever, a couple. But yeah, that anyone's one hit away from never playing again is kind of my belief. So I think Tua is. I think, like every other single player in the NFL is. So I'm not like too worried about that. And I think he get another concussion to come back. He's just been doing it. It's not guaranteed. So It's also really priced in Dynasty. That's also why I kind of liked him in the offseason, despite it not working out.
Jacob says Tua also won't be traded anytime soon with his mega contract. It's completely unmovable, unlike the past Baker, Darnold, Dimes type of guys whose contract expired and they signed elsewhere. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I wasn't specifically thinking of that or aware of that necessarily. So, that's some good insight there.
Yeah.
Seb says, I don't know why you're talking, J-Meth. You're the same guy who said JSN wasn't going to do nothing with Sammy. And he's got a skull emoji there.
I see that they're going back in.
Yeah, I don't know. Did Jacob say that? Was Jacob anti-JSN this year?
I don't know. Technically I was anti-JSN, though. I wasn't too interested in him.
I'll fully admit I was, at his price in startup drafts, I was totally out on JSN. I was the idiot saying that, Josh Downs had basically like very similar point per game last season, and you can get him like how many rounds later? 5-6 rounds later.
Yeah, I don't think it was like that. Any of us even actually hated his. He was going objectively in the right spot. The issue was there's just always players around. You got
it just kind of felt like a big flat here at that point. So it wasn't even anything about not liking JSN as a player. I just thought you get something so similar to him 5-6 rounds later.
Exactly, that's always a big one. And then you got whatever these guys like London and Ladd and Marv and stuff that we like just going right ahead of them, and then behind them. Then you had Rashee Rice coming in those later drafts, and it's like...
Yeah, so it just sort of felt like a bit of a teardrop off, once you got to JSN, and that, but clearly we underestimated him. We underestimated the potential for a year 3 breakout. So
for the best wide receiver season ever. That's what I underestimated. So
right,
you're gonna be wrong when you see that coming. That was a big miss
for sure. But Seb says it is what you said. Video proof. Okay. Well, hey, I mean, maybe Seb can look up the receipts and drop them here. But hey, I'd love to see it. I mean, I'd love to have something to troll Jacob with. So please, Seb, please find this clip if you can. If you can find this clip of Jacob, talking trash about JSN before the season, like please send it to me.
Yeah, Jacob brings up another one though. Yeah, Tet, that was a big one. Garrett Wilson was going beside him, and then Tet and Hunter sitting right in behind. Yeah, I mean, there were just so many good players in that range.
Yeah, that was just a big range where there's just like a lot of good receivers that we liked, and it was just hard to justify like not trading back and get someone that seemed really similar to JSN, rounds later or whatever.
Yeah, no, pretty much. Again, with the philosophy of how I want to build teams, yeah, that's exactly what ended up happening.
Yeah. But yeah, we won't necessarily read all these Jacob and Seb comments. Might be turning into hopefully it's not turning into a listener league kind of argument here. But let's see. Todd's Real Lawn says, I'd trade Tua for a 16th round and a Guardian cap.
That sounds like a Bills fan if I ever.
Right. Yeah, maybe a little divisional bias there.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate the comment. Let's see.
Who would you rather have as your quarterback, Nathan Peterman or Tua, Todd?
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, yeah, gotta go to. I mean, well, yeah, what quarterback would you not take over Peterman? But yeah, Tua hasn't fallen that far. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know here. Read some of these like Seb and Jacob comments and see if any of them are worth reading. But I'm just sort of like assuming they're arguing and skipping past them.
Yeah, I'm gonna say skip past them.
Yeah. Okay. Cam X says I'd rather be in a few leagues myself and win than a bunch. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I can respect that. I mean, I'm probably in too many dynasty leagues. I might try to cut back a little bit this off season. We'll see if I have the discipline and willpower to do that, but yeah, I respect that.
That's how I'm treating like redraft, though I'm in like 4 redraft leagues, but like I'll have my 1 to 4 redraft leagues. If I win, it'll be a big deal, like I can have fun doing that, but like I don't want to play in any more redraft than that. Now in Dynasty, I think it's just way more fun to play in a lot because you can have the kind of portfolio, you get to take more action on what you believe, and because there's nothing worse if you were just in one dynasty league, for example, and then like you really wanted to draft this one player at a spot that he goes every time, and then someone reaches 3 picks on him or whatever it is, or it's that owner that won't trade, So that's the benefit of being in at least a few dynasty or
I could I think like 3 dynasty leagues seems like a really good number if you don't want to have like some big portfolio. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's fun to have like at least like 2 or 3.
Yeah, exactly. With
then,
one playing a scary game.
Michael Hart says, okay, so back to a good old-fashioned start-sit question. In a full PPR league, I need 2 running backs, 2 receivers, 1 flex, and the players he has are Genty, Hampton, Devin Neal, and then receivers are Nico Collins, Tet McMillan, Ibuka, Devonta Smith. And then he also says Fannin could be flex also since he has McBride. Okay. Yeah, Fannon's coming off that monster week with Shedeur Sanders. But let's go one at a time here. So what 2 running backs do you like, Blake, between Genty, Hampton, Devin Neal? So yeah, we just need to bench one of those guys.
I'm just going Genty and Hampton. I know Neal had a touchdown and actually a pretty decent week. I'm still going Hampton.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm starting the 2 studs there. Not going to overthink it. And then 2 receivers. So we got Nico Collins, Tet, Ibuka, Devonta Smith. Which are your 2 favorite there, Blake, this week?
Starting Nico for sure. He's been actually really, really, really good.
He's been heating up
late. Yeah.
Got a pretty nice matchup home against the Cardinals. So yeah, tough to sit him.
I think he's like actually in total points has like risen up to like wide receiver 8. But since some given week, like he's been damn good. Especially I don't think he's even been scoring that many touchdowns. So.
Okay.
Rock him, and then who does Devonta Smith play?
The Raiders.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah. I mean, like, I know that they're Ooh, yeah. I
at
mean,
Philadelphia.
yeah, it's like I want to probably start Tet and Smitty, but Fannin is very very tempting. Of course too. I'm gonna just do what I would do in a normal league though, and just play Tet and Smitty.
Okay, so you're starting 3 receivers with one of them being in the flex.
With one of them being the flex, yeah.
Okay, so you're bench Ibuka and Fannin.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, so yeah. I mean, sounds like a really good, roster that you got there. So, yeah, definitely some tough decisions. But yeah, I think I agree with you, Blake. Yeah, you've talked me into Ibuka like not being a bad start this week. I can get behind that. Him being at least a solid start. But yeah, I don't think you start him over Nico, Tet, or Devonta Smith. I feel like Smitty's due for a big game. And I feel like the Eagles are really going to want to lay it on the Raiders after putting up such a dreadful performance against the Chargers this past week. So I'm kind of feeling a big Smitty game. And who does Tet play this week?
Yeah, I'm completely blanking on that one as well.
Oh, he's at New Orleans. So that's not a matchup that scares you. So yeah. I agree with Blake's assessment. I would sit Devin Neal, Harold Fannin, and Ibuka. But yeah, I mean, that's a really good roster. So I don't think you can mess it up too bad because like all those are pretty good options.
Yeah, I mean exactly. Like if you really like Ibuka over someone or Fannin over one, I don't blame you. Especially the game that Fannin's coming off. If that's like insane. I mean, again, I don't expect Shedeur to do that next game. But it is against the Bears. There's been some nice shootouts. So I basically wouldn't blame you genuinely, other than the running backs going elsewhere. That's just what I would play personally, and then you get a little bit of a hot hand there with what Nico and I guess Ted have been doing recently. And Smitty, I just have a little bit more faith in that matchup than Ibuka. Could be wrong, but
yeah, I just feel like the players we chose there are your best players. So if you're going with the philosophy, just start your best players. I think it's Genty, Hampton, Nico, Tet, and Smitty. Yeah. But yeah, good question there, and yeah, great roster. I think you'll do well. And then we have Let's Get It saying Stafford, me versus May, and then Gibbs. Okay, then he has Gibbs versus CMC, and Kyron/Hendy, me versus. I'm confused. Wait.
It's okay. Saying he's comparing his lineup. So Stafford versus May.
I see.
Gibbs
Okay, right.
CMC. Yeah.
And then does the slash mean and or? That's what I'm confused about.
That's or. I think.
Okay.
Because he was asking to start sit.
That's right. Okay, so yeah, either Kyron or Henderson he has versus he's going up against either Genty or Jaylen Warren. Yeah. And then he says, who win in these matchup, fellas?
That's extremely tight. I mean, who do the Gibbs play again?
He's at the Rams.
At the what?
At the Rams.
Oh, good lord. Yeah, that's I mean, it doesn't really probably matter for Gibbs, to be honest.
It doesn't matter. It does not.
but at least it could stop him from scoring like 50 points or whatever he's been doing, 37. So yeah, I'm more inclined though to say the Stafford, Gibbs, and then also you got like Henderson, who we said to play over Gibbs or Jaylen Warren. I would say that personally. I mean, Stafford's just been on another level as well. Hopefully, it's 6-point passing touchdowns though. If it's 4, I can see the rushing on May coming in.
Yeah, if it's 6-point passing touchdowns, I'm definitely giving the edge to Stafford against the Lions. And yeah, I'll take Gibbs over CMC. And let's see. Okay, we said Henderson, and that would be versus Genty/Warren. I mean, Jaylen Warren hasn't been that great lately. He's looked good from a real life perspective. But Gainwell's, has earned a role there because he's been good. Who do the Steelers play this week?
Oh shoot, yeah, they had a good match.
Oh, Dolphins on Monday night. Okay,
yeah, that's good.
So that's a solid matchup. Although it seems like the Dolphins have been getting better against the run lately. But yeah, let's say okay, let's call it Henderson versus Genty. Well, which would you favor there?
I'd still favor Henderson with just the pure upside he's got if he even busts one.
Okay. Yeah, so it looks like we favor you in all those matchups there. And honestly, we're telling you the truth. I mean, we're not going to just BS you there.
Yeah, I mean, Gibbs the other guys. If you were drafting right now, Gibbs is obviously the 101. So I mean, it's going to be hard to not prefer that team when you got some similar stuff off the board with Stafford and May and those other guys. So yeah, I mean, you just take the Gibbs side there, I believe.
Yeah. So you're looking good there. And then let's see.
I think they're
Okay.
talking about Shedeur
Yeah,
now.
that's all the 7 Jacob comments. So is there anything here worth reading?
Jacob said he wants Shedeur to succeed with how much Stefanski's been hating on him. Stefanski should be fired with how he's treating him. Here's the thing. I keep hearing Stefanski should get fired, but if a coach can get 40 fantasy points, but if a coach can get, whatever the game he got, 4 touchdowns and 300 something yards out of Shedeur in his third start, that coach should not be fired. Let me tell you that, number one. Number two, Stefanski is how can you say this guy get fired? I'm not a Browns fan. He's also a former Viking coach, so I'm at least familiar with everything he's kind of done afterwards. This guy's literally turned around the Browns organization. He literally, they just completely, ran the table with Joe Flacco a couple years ago as well. I mean, you cannot overlook what Stefanski has done over the years. Honestly, if he gets fired, I don't think it's I think that's a bad thing for the Browns, number one. I think that's a good thing for Stefanski potentially, if he can go land in another good situation and just completely upgrade an offense elsewhere. I mean, I think the Stefanski disrespect is crazy all around the NFL. I've been hearing because of the Shedeur stuff. So.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope Shedeur succeeds though, because we need Harold Fannin.
Oh yeah.
Soaking up these 30% target shares he's getting and scoring 30 plus fantasy points. He did last week, or in 10 and premium at least.
Yeah, I was even thinking about, I wonder if, to what degree this might continue with Fannin rest of the season. I don't know, could he become this league winner down the stretch? I mean, obviously he's been really solid all season. And we've been, a topic that has come up has been Fannin versus Gadsden. You know what I mean? And depending on what part of the season you asked it in, your answer might differ. They've been really close. Do you have an opinion on that now? Would you lean toward Fannin just because he's kind of hot? If you're a contender? Because I was looking at in Blood, Sweat, and Beers, it's a non-tight end premium, but full PPR. And my tight ends are Tyler Warren, Gadsden, and Jake Ferguson. So I'm probably starting Ferguson this week, which is fine. Yeah. But I was I was wondering should I try to add a draft pick to Gadsden and upgrade to Fannin? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Harold Fannin, yeah. I mean, I believe when we've kind of done these check-ins, especially because Gadsden was out producing him at one time. I think I've just been saying Fannin every single time, but obviously it's gotten close. Yeah, I think we had Jacob on one time. We were talking about that, and I don't remember what Jacob said. I think maybe you lean Gadsden. I'm not sure, but I basically just say Fannin until basically proven otherwise. He's just way too good, and then.
Yeah, I remember when we had Jacob on, that was before the Gadsden had fully broken out. And I remember the debate we were having is I was saying basically we all agreed at that time Fannin was who we all preferred in Dynasty. Yeah. But I was making the argument that the gap between Fannin and Gadsden was closer than the market.
Yeah, and then he started going.
I was basically saying a third wouldn't be enough on top of on top of Gadsden to move Fannin. Yeah. But I was thinking a second might be.
Yeah, and then Gadsden started going nuts. But yeah, I mean, even still, what Harold Fannin has done is just you don't trade that for. I mean, even for what Gadsden's done, he's been awesome. But you're kind of seeing how I know it's just the crazy. The O-line's all broken and Herbert's banged up. But
I'm not really holding too much against Gadsden right now, but just for the sake of contending this playoff push, what would you add to Gadsden right now to get Fannin?
That's a non-tight end premium, right? That's the Blood, Sweat, Beers.
Non-tight end premium.
I don't know. I would have to. I mean, I know you got a lot of stuff to work with. I'd easily throw Jalen McMillan, do that in third.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Jalen McMillan in a third, and whatever you got thrown. I would throw a decent amount still. I mean, Harold Fannin is just too good to not have. He's just getting it done as well. So
yeah, and that actually could be a really good win-win trade for Mad Chaos as well, because I mean his team is just so brutal, and he desperately needs picks and assets. So I think him tearing down from Fannin to Gadsden would make a ton of sense. So maybe that's an offer I'll send. See if I can get that done.
Yeah, I think we have Gadsden, another one, and it basically the production aside though, still, I mean, maybe it's just the recency bias, but what Fannin's doing is just I mean, this is a guy I want to, invest in as a rookie and just hopefully I can hold him throughout his career kind of thing. I mean, can you imagine just like drafting, whatever Kittle or Kelsey as like a rookie? My God, how well off you'd be. I'm just trying to get him no matter what, and also, yeah, if I had a Gadsden share, I'd be just like trying to like send whatever pieces I can to turn Gadsden into Fannin, and nothing against Gadsden. I just want Fannin. So
here I'm gonna send an offer right now. So what's a good starting offer? Gadsden and a third for Fannin.
Yeah, I mean, I would just start there and then just keep adding up until like.
Okay, actually, I own Mad Chaos's third, so I believe he has the 101, right? So I guess that'd be the 301.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So should I offer him his own third, or should I start with like a mid third?
Start with mid third, yeah.
Okay.
The only thing I'd be careful is that it is like non-tight end premium to begin with, so it's like, tight ends don't really make that big of a difference. Though if one could, it could be Fannin, of course.
Yeah, I could throw Jalen McMillan in there. Madcast has expressed like very mild interest in him, but I think he kind of just makes this offer look worse on like a first offer.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay, so I'll send this Fannin or Gadsden and like a mid third for Fannin. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and then Jacob was chiming in that he's always been Fannin over Gadsden because he was a target earner. And here's what here's what I remember about our conversation though, about why it just felt better with Fannin just in general though, is that Harold Fannin was doing this with, the corpse of Flacco that was like not throwing any good at all in on the Browns there, doing it with Gabriel of course. He was just getting it done with like in just a terrible situation. Heck, he's been getting it done with Shedeur now, and putting up really good fantasy numbers and obviously really, really, really elite metrics. Whereas like Gadsden, the target competition is there. That's a good thing to see. He's kind of doing it with the target competition, but right. Like he's got Herbert. They had no line at the time, and so I mean, so I think it's the gap between them's obviously because of the production right now, like way I don't know, feels way bigger than maybe it should be, but like Fannin should probably be in the conversation. Like he's really trending in the conversation. Like I don't even like if he's notably cheaper than like Tyler Warren, all these guys, I easily want Fannin like over like I'm gonna draft him all day over these like top tight ends, all day long, if that makes just any sense. Yeah,
I mean, cheaper. Probably the window to buy Fannin at like a good price is closed after that big game, but who knows? I mean, if he cools down, there could be another opportunity to get him. But yeah, definitely believe in him long term, and still believe in Gadsden a lot. I mean, actually, probably the better move right now is buy Oronde Gadsden. Especially if he's not contending or if he's just a backup. I mean, I definitely believe in Oronde Gadsden long term. So he's probably the guy to buy right now.
Yeah, I mean, he could be an interesting guy too if he just doesn't bounce back because of whatever's going on there with the O line, and they're using this like fullback and stuff, an extra tight end. Well, maybe in the offseason he's going to be an awesome buy because people might just think it was a fluke. He could end up being a very, very, very good buy. And if ultimately he's much, much, much cheaper than Fannin, absolutely, I'll be all in on getting Gadsden.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's see. Any other comments? Yeah, I think we're past that argument. So let's see. What comment do we leave off on here then?
He did mention he'll toss some Dynasty take questions out. Feel free to ignore, but he says rank Reed. I believe that's so all the Packers guys for Dynasty. So Reed, Watson, Golden. And hilariously enough, I do think you need I basically need to admit Christian Watson's at least worth like a mid-second. I don't. It has to be Watson over Golden right now, just for how I would play Dynasty. He's scoring points. He's looking good. Golden, like Matthew Golden's doing nothing. But then between Golden and Reed, I would still put Golden ahead, I guess, just out of the pure hopium that like he didn't really get like a fair enough chance, and I don't think Jaden Reed's like really far behind at all. Like he's right there. What about you?
Yeah, definitely putting Watson first of those three. And then, I guess it's close between Reed and Golden. I'm going to lean Reed just because I know Jaden Reed is pretty good at football. You know what I mean? And he was a coveted dynasty asset once upon a time, And, there's still some hope for him. I mean, I'm not like huge on Jayden Reed at this point, but we know he's pretty good at football. So we don't know that yet about Matthew Golden. So I'm going to put Golden third.
Yeah, fair enough. I just think off of Reed being the slot only guy, I'll still give the benefit of the doubt on Golden. I mean, you just never know. Maybe he needs a year. And obviously, like, Dobbs can leave and all that stuff. That could open up opportunity for year two. So
yeah, that's a good argument.
I'll still give him that edge, but again, I think it's really close because I think Reed can at least Reed could maybe score you some fantasy points if you care about that right now. Heck, I think we're even gonna throw him in a flex this weekend.
Jayden Reed on our co-managed team, yeah.
Yeah, I think we were talking about that. So he's certainly more startable, that's for sure.
Yeah. And Jacob also says, what are the actual Christian Watson takes? When do we actually toss him in the Waddle JMO archetype tier? Interesting.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm still extremely hesitant with a guy like Watson in Dynasty. I mean, it's obviously notable. He's, he was once a valuable asset. Well before he was hurt. I mean, he wasn't even valuable when he was hurt. Before he got hurt.
Yeah, his rookie season, he was the league winner. Second half of the season,
and then he pretty much was nothing. He just was a steady decline after that.
Due to injuries. Yeah, mainly due to injuries.
Yeah, mainly due to injuries and just when he was on the field was
inconsistency.
Yeah, just
he was boomer bust, and
yeah,
I mean, he was kind of feeling like a dead asset for a while.
No,
I sold him for fab when he came off of IR in a league.
Pre-injury, he was like a dead asset. So I know he had a couple games or a big play. I think he tore his ACL in a big play, but yeah, I'm gonna be pretty hesitant actually putting him there.
Yeah, I can't put him there just because I still think the injury risk is there. I mean, I know he recently got moved in the listener league. Jacob moved him for a 28 first from Seb. I think that was a good deal for Jacob. I could see a world where it works out for Seb. I mean, if he stays healthy and just keeps producing, then Seb got a really awesome receiver for a first 3 years out. So it could truly end up being a win-win trade. I think in a vacuum, I would favor Jacob's side, but I could see it working out for both. But yeah, I'd be a little hesitant to personally send a first on Christian Watson. But hey, I respect the gamble that Seb took. Of course, he's a Packers fan, so I'm sure that played into it. But at the same time, he's watching this guy ball every Sunday. I can't blame him. It's just like how you like Addison more than the market. I like JMO more than the market. And it doesn't mean that, we like these players because of a bias, but just because we watch them, we know better than a lot of people just how good they are.
No, yeah, Watson. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, still what to do with him. He's balling. He's really efficient. I think, by the way, I just think it's I do think if you just sell him for any 28 I think he's just sell high. Just sell him high. He's especially if he did end that game with 4 catches, he's scoring 2 big touchdowns. Just sell him high. He'll get on a cold streak, whether it's in the playoffs or this. People will raise questions. He's going to be 26 or whatever. Heck, maybe he's going to be 27 in the offseason or something like that. You're not going to be able to get a first for him. He's just not worth first. It's just plain and simple. I know it's a 28 one, so that's why.
Yeah, but if he does stay healthy, he could have several really good years of production. So I think that's what you're betting on. You're not buying him because you think he's going to increase in value. You're doing it for the production.
Exactly. I think the production is just I'm just not convinced yet. And I'm open to that I could just be wrong on that. I'm just going to be I think anytime you see something like this, you are way better being skeptical than trying to get ahead of the market, because if we're talking about putting him in the Waddle tier already, the market's already there. There's nothing to gain, So I would rather have definite proof that he's worth a first, and I'm trading that for him, than trying to just take a leap of faith right now. Yeah, I'm always going to be hesitant on a player like that right now. Nothing against Watson.
If it wasn't for the injury concerns, I think I might be willing to pay, 28 first, or, I don't know, maybe even a couple seconds if I really needed a receiver. Maybe I get a third kickback with Christian Watson or something like that. But yeah, the injuries just still make me too nervous. So, but I believe in his talent when he's out there. So, yeah. But it was an interesting trade in the listener league, though. So it'll be interesting to see how that ages. Jacob says, also name every wide receiver above Justin Jefferson for Dynasty. I'm curious. Naturally, I prefer Rice already. Yeah, I agree. I mean, even with the whole probation thing, I would take Rice over Jefferson, especially if I'm contending, because I mean, I don't think he's going to get in trouble between, in the next few weeks here. So I can win a championship with Rice. And then, maybe I look to cash out if I get a really good offer in the offseason. Yeah. I don't think I want to be holding Rice for like multiple years because, I mean, you know how I feel about the whole probation thing. But yeah, just for being able to play the market, yeah, I'll absolutely take Rice over Jefferson. But yeah, I don't know. Well, actually, let me send that question to you, Blake, first before we list every receiver that would take over Jefferson.
Yeah, if I'm contending, it's pretty much the same thing with Neighbors right now. Like, yeah, I'll take Rice over Neighbors or Jefferson right now. But if I'm not contending, I mean, that's the thing. I don't know that it's gonna fix next year. I'll play the market absolutely. I'll just put Rice. I think Rice is. I'm not even worried about the probation thing. I mean, hopefully they just lock this guy in his house and then every offseason, by the way. But like, it's just like, is he as talented as these guys or remotely? I mean, I know he's good with the ball off a catch. He's good for what he's asked to do, but like, and maybe he just stays in the KC, so it doesn't matter. But I don't know. I am a little bit skeptical about putting him there in Dynasty as the actual top receiver. As soon as that production goes away, the thing with Jefferson is that production's went away all season, and he's still there. If that goes away for Rice, he is not there, and he's dropping big time. Imagine if he flips sides with Rice. So like that's my argument for like Justin Jefferson's the right answer, but because I'm a market player in here, it's gonna be Rashee Rice for right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know if I can put Rice ahead of Neighbors. I certainly understand the argument, and if you are contending, I don't mind doing the swap if I really think that Rice is going to put me over the top, knowing that you're losing a little value in the process, and sometimes that's okay. I think I would still at least slightly prefer Neighbors over Rice.
Yeah, depending on if I'm contending or not. I want whatever one I'm not.
But what do you think is going to happen to Jefferson's price this offseason? If he does not end the season hot, people might start cooling on him. His value might finally start taking that dip, and he's going to be turning, I assume, 27 sometime this offseason, at least before the start of the season. So we might be at that point very, very soon, Blake.
Yeah, if that's happening, hell, I'm getting all my Jeffersons back because. Yeah, I mean, I sold him just kind of being fearful that... Here's the thing, I never thought it would get this bad, to be clear. I was pretty fearful that we were going to see anything of Justin Jefferson we wanted to. So, yeah, I mean, I think people can overreact. I don't know. I mean, his name is Justin Jefferson after all. I think it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of, The issue is that content creators and everything are just going to be smart and just say, he's Justin Jefferson, don't drop him too low. And people will probably just listen to them. So, yeah, he'll drop. I don't know. There's a lot up in left in the season, right? You can always turn it around to some degree with some really good matchups down the stretch.
That's the worst part is if you're contending, how do you bench him against the Cowboys? How do you bench him against whatever? I mean, it's all good matchups from here. I mean, that's why I'm sure a lot of people started him against the Commanders. It's oh man, that's such a juicy matchup. So that's probably the worst part about Jefferson is that you kind of get almost conned into starting him, thinking this is going to be the week, but it just never seems to be.
That is literally also part of the reason why I got rid of him in a couple leagues, and I actually do have him in one league still, and I'm I got cheated out of a bye in that one. I have a very good team, but Jefferson's probably the worst player in my lineup easily. I actually have Rice in that one, funny enough, as well. But which I traded Neighbors for this season because we're on the topic of Neighbors as well, and. I don't know. I'm just going to leave Jefferson in there personally and just hope for the best. But I could start some pretty solid options over him. I mean, some really solid options. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to let myself get cheated by Jefferson here in the playoffs, fantasy playoffs, personally. If it happens, if it kills me, it kills me. But these start sits aren't going to be fun on Saturday. I tell you that much.
Yeah, but let's answer Jacob's question in earnest here. He says, list all the receivers that you would rank ahead of Justin Jefferson.
I'm going to assume. Sorry, for this, I'm going to assume we're just talking pure dynasty. I'm not putting playoff contention ahead. I'm talking about
a vacuum.
just in a vacuum. Dynasty.
Pretend the off season is like pretend right now like the off season just began.
Yeah, basically. Right now the off season began. I'm worried about building an actual roster. Yeah. I'll take.
So here I pulled up Keep Trade Cut rankings just to give us a list of general names to go from here. So I'm going to start at the top, read down. Stop me when you hear a name that you think you would take Justin Jefferson over. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So JSN. Ja'Marr Chase, Puka Nacua, Malik Neighbors, Amon-Ra St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb. Okay, and then KTC has Jefferson here. Okay, and then under him, tell me if you want any of these players over Jefferson. If it's like if today is the offseason, okay? Drake London.
Ooh, yeah, I thought about that one. I have no idea where I'm at on that one. But if London was healthy, it would have to be London. Yeah.
I'll take London.
But I'm saying if it's the off season, even
if it's the off season, I'm probably taking London. It's close though.
I refuse to answer this because I have no idea what's going on with the quarterback.
Because Penix loves London, so the quarterback situation doesn't even need to improve. That's the thing.
But
he's a monster with Penix.
I mean, people are worried about like Penix just like not playing and stuff. Like I don't know. I don't know really? What's going on. I don't know what's going on with the Falcons. If Penix is back and playing, yes, London.
Yeah. Okay. So next is Emeka Buka. You want him or Jefferson?
Oh, I'll take Jefferson. Yeah. I mean, I know Buka could jump and everything and be awesome, but this is where I'll just draw the line and just say for this offseason. Yeah.
But let's read a few more here because I think you have others that could make an argument here. Okay, so the next is Rashee Rice. So I said I'll take Rice over. I said I'd do the season. So off season. I mean, if I could sell him for Jefferson plus, I probably would. So, but if you're just putting a gun to my head, I can just take one or the other, and it's the off season. I would probably slightly say Jefferson, but man, that's close. But I would take him now if I'm contending and need Rice for the playoffs. I would absolutely take Rice over Jefferson.
Agreed with all that, yeah.
Okay. The next name is Ted McMillan. You want him or Jefferson? It's the off season.
I still want Jefferson, yeah.
I might take Ted there, just on the youth, the upside, the ascension. George Pickens, you want him or Jefferson?
No, I still want Jefferson easily.
If it's the off season, I'd probably agree, but if it's right now, I'd have no issue making that swap.
Interesting.
And then Nico Collins or Jefferson.
Nah, yeah, still Jefferson easily. Man, I think I gotta go. Well, actually,
close. I mean,
Pickens, but I gotta go send that out. Pickens for Jefferson. See if that's like something that even gets not instantly rejected.
I might take Nico Collins because if I have Collins coming off like a hot end of the season and Jefferson not doing that, if that happens, I might lean Nico very slightly. I'd say that's like a kind of a coin flip for me. And then I don't think we'd take any of Ladd, Garrett Wilson, Marv, Odunze, Brian Thomas over Jefferson.
No, I mean, it's not even close. Yeah. I mean,
look,
I know it's bad. I know it's terrible with Jefferson right now, but the second it's not, I mean, like, we're going to be going, oh my God, like we're taking 20 receivers over what the hell were we doing,
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. It's definitely in the range of outcomes. But yeah, to summarize our answer to Jacob's question, the receivers that Blake and I, both agree that we would take, over Jefferson if today was the offseason are JSN, Ja'Marr Chase, Puka Nacua, Malik Neighbors, Amon-Ra St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, and Drake London. So those are the only receivers that we could both agree on taking over Jefferson. If it's the offense.
At this very second. I mean, one good game, like two good games with Jefferson in a row. Right. Things probably flip and flop. And,
it's always possible. Things can change quickly. So
we'll see. What happens when we get there.
Very interesting question, Jacob. Really, really appreciate that question. That was a good one. And then let's see.
Let's get it.
Oh yeah, let's get it. Says also what we thinking about Bowers this week.
I mean,
a tough match against the Eagles. I don't care too much about matchups for tight ends, but it does seem like the Eagles have done a pretty good job this year. So, I mean, you're starting Bowers, so I don't even know. Like, I mean, you'd have to have a damn good tight end to be benching Bowers.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter how we feel. He better be in your lineup. I believe Geno Smith is actually out for that game though, which is also probably why he's asking. So it is good to be, Kenny Pickett in there. And yeah, I don't know what to think. Have we really seen him other than that last game for a few reps without Geno and with Pickett in there?
Yeah, but of course, I mean, the moment you bench Bowers,
Yeah.
he has like the game of his life. So you just got to start him. I mean, unless you have McBride, like I can't think of too many other tight ends, if any, that I would start over Bowers.
To answer your question, he's still easily a weekly top 5 tight end in anyone's rankings. Where in that top 5, I'm not too sure. McBride's probably just always one, and beyond there, you're just shuffling some of those top dogs like Bowers.
Yeah.
Hoping for the best.
Yeah, you just got to roll with them. So hope that answers your question.
Not overly confident, though, yeah, to answer your question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I feel great, but you're starting your best players in the fantasy play. Just do not get cute. Do not overthink it. Just put Bowers in the lineup and hope for the best. That's all you can do.
Agreed.
And then Seb says, YOLO, boys. YOLO. Stop being afraid of sending them first. Go try and win. And exactly, Watson is a dog. Reed is a dog. And he puts those in all caps. Also, Seb says, Dan sees the light, Diggs. I don't know if he's referring to my take on Christian Watson or for he's probably referring to my YOLO nature recently, especially in the listener league, throwing a second at Travis Kelce, which hasn't aged well so far. I'm hoping it ages better this week. Because I'm got a big playoff matchup I need to win.
Seb's a bad influence on you.
What?
Seb's a bad influence on you.
He must be, but hey, if Kelce has a monster game, I'm going to be loving that Seb influence.
Oh, you know what? I traded for Kelce as well, and actually, he single-handedly, almost costed me a bye week trading for him.
Right.
And I was kind of happy to do it just because of how ridiculous the prices of every Kelce manager wanted. That because every Kelce manager is trying to sell them to me for some reason. I just keep telling them to go away. Randy must have messaged me 15 times about it. Wow. I swear. I'm like, no, you're not getting anything for Kelce. I don't need him.
Yeah,
you're not giving you a second.
The difference is in listener league. I felt like I did need him because I felt I had one flex spot that was going to be that week. It was a must, win and get in, at the minimum. And I was going to be starting Trey Tucker or Jordan Mason. And funny enough, Jordan Mason outscored. I think that's probably who I would have started.
Yeah.
But I do think
if you need him, of course, trade for him. But yeah, I just I couldn't get behind this second, even though, because the thing is it could have been a 1-game rental. And for me, it could, when I traded him, it could have been a 2-game rental. Because I get him that week 14, and if I miss, then I get eliminated week 15, and I'm like, this guy's going to be retired in the sunset, going off with Taylor Swift in this. I'm just burning a second. I could trade that second for another contending player that isn't going to retire this year. But anyways, I ended up getting him for a 27 third on a contending team, and AJ Barner, who I have 20 AJ Barners on this roster. So
right.
I was all right, just give that up. But it's funny, it burnt me immediately after doing it.
Yeah, but you're the main reason why I was willing to send that second for Kelce. Not only did I think I needed some help in my last flex spot, and it's a 0.75 tight end premium, and Kelce's the tight end 2 on the year. At the time I made the trade,
so Randy would miss, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I needed to do it because I was also getting Geno Smith and Kirk Cousins in the deal. Now, do I want those quarterbacks? Hell no. You know what I mean? But I needed them off Randy's roster because I needed Randy to lose. And more importantly, I couldn't have him winning that league median. And I haven't done the math, but I mean, it's possible. I don't know how close they came. But for all I know, they would have gotten the league median if they had those quarterbacks on the roster boosting up their points for. So, although, of course, ironically, they were forced to start Shedeur Sanders, and he has the monster week. So I don't know. Maybe it didn't even
that's hilarious.
Work out that way. But in theory, I was taking a lot of points off their roster because I was removing Kelce, removing Geno and Cousins. I was even removing Chigo Conko. I just wanted to leave their roster bare so that they didn't win their matchup or median. So basically, the way I looked at it is that my hope was that by paying the second, I'm basically buying myself a playoff spot and getting a player that could help me win some money. So I felt like it was justifiable.
No, yeah, I certainly get that. Especially, getting, I think Cousins put up 2, but if they started Geno, I think maybe 11 points could have done it. I'm not sure what what
They had that
how
in the
close
super
they
flex
were.
spot. Yeah, because they only started one quarterback because they traded me Cousins and Geno.
Yeah, like I'm not sure how close they were, but yeah, it's definitely a smart move to try and get them off. I mean, honestly, those are the more of the guys that are probably more like hilariously enough. Obviously, you get the rental Kelsey, but those guys are like the actual things you're trading for in the deal. Like they're not probably going to retire this year, so
Right.
at least you do get some guys that you can kind of have.
Well, right. I mean, that did make me feel better about it. I mean, I didn't feel like I needed a third quarterback having Hurts and Goff, and then even have like what's his name, Tanner McGee, the Hurts backup, and plus like Goff never gets hurt. But yeah, I mean, there's a chance one or both of those guys could make some starts next year, or who knows, maybe even go into the season as a starter somewhere if I'm lucky. But yeah, that can help me save on some of the value I was losing. I mean, who knows? Maybe Kelsey retires, but I mean, it's at least in the range of outcomes. He plays another year and has another good year. So who knows? I didn't think it was the worst thing in the world.
No, yeah, exactly. I'm glad Randy got his second for Kelsey finally. He was
Oh, he was a happy man, but it just made so much sense for both sides. So yeah, I think we were both happy with that under the circumstances. And then let's see, returning to the live chat here. Hey, we got Nahal in here. He says, "Yo, good to see you, Nahal." And Nahal says, "Start 3 of these: Rico, as in Rico Dowdle, Travion Henderson, Ladd McConkey, Abuka." And he says, "I'm leaning on sitting Rico. I don't know if I can trust that he gets the carries." So what do you think, Blake? Which of these 3 are you starting? Rico, Travion, Ladd, Abuka? I'm benching Ladd, I think.
Okay. Start 3 of those 4. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I want to bench Ladd the way it's been going. I mean, I just don't trust anything going on in the Chargers team there. And yeah, I mean, it's a little up in there for Rico, but like, I mean, I trust him more than Ladd, basically.
I trust him. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you'll at least get like double-digit touches. We've seen monster games from him. There's always the chance Chuba gets hurt in the game, or maybe they just both get like 20 touches each again. I mean, you just never know. So
yeah, I mean, we were talking about Igbukah just he dropped a wide open touchdown in the end zone, and
yeah, I'll start Igbukah over Ladd. Yeah. I mean, that's how down I am on Ladd at this moment due to the circumstances there with the Chargers and their O-line and Herbert banged up, and it's just not going well.
Yeah, their pass rate is going to go way down. But yeah, I mean, there's really good coach speak, at least Nahal, on Igbukah. It's enough for me to have some confidence just to fire him up on a Thursday night, which again feels awful. If you really do think Ladd could be a better start than one of those guys, sure, fire him in. I just like them all 3 over Ladd, personally. Agree with you, Dan?
It's not even a good matchup for Ladd. It's at Kansas City.
Oh God.
I mean, there's just does not feel good. I would bench Ladd there pretty easily.
Yeah, I could see that game just being like way too many rushing attempts for both sides too. Like not many plays are called. Being disgusting.
But yeah, it doesn't feel like a great game for fantasy.
Don't tell me that's like a Sunday night game or something like that.
Oh, that's guaranteed, right? Yeah.
If that's a Sunday night game, do not do anything. Like, do not.
It's a 1 p.m. game, but I still don't love it.
That would be the nail in the coffin. My God.
Yeah. But yeah, we would still both bench Ladd. And then let's see. Seb says aliens could invade by then, for all we know. Anyway, hey, that's actually a pretty good argument, Blake, for sending those 28 firsts away.
That's right.
So you might not even be around to have to pay the consequences of it. I mean, I think that's a pretty good argument there.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's good enough for Seb.
Yeah. Yeah, funny comment there, Seb. And Nahal says, start 3, Tet, Sutton, Waddle, Myers.
Tet, Sutton, Waddle, Myers. Man, how do you sit Myers with what he's been doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna start Tet, start Myers, and gosh, we're doing with Waddle. I mean, who's he playing this week?
Yeah, playing Pittsburgh. And yeah, and then Sutton gets Packers. I don't know how I feel about that one. So I think Sutton's actually been like reasonably decent, but I still want to go Tet, Waddle, Myers.
Yeah, personally. I feel like Waddle and Sutton are close enough that in terms of how good they've been this season. So if you're just kind of like starting your best player, like they're kind of the same thing.
Yeah, Waddle's been way better since like the first month of the season.
That's true. So I think you could argue Waddle's a better player anyways. But even if you say they're kind of the same, Waddle's got the better matchup. So I'll start Waddle.
Yeah, I mean Myers is just a hard guy to sit right now. He's just dominating target share too there, and keeps scoring touchdowns. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of just falling for the bait. Myers is looking like a pretty good start. So.
Yeah. But Waddle does play in the Monday night game at Pittsburgh. So does that change your opinion at all, Blake? Are we going to see another dud on primetime?
A solid start. Now,
Yeah.
if Chubb's in there, I do think like, what is the matchup for? It's the Lions for
Yeah,
Corum?
home against the Lions for Corum.
I believe the Lions are a pretty tough run matchup, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they allow the fewest points. I mean, I'm not personally too worried about it. I could see both Kyren and Corum having good games, so matchup isn't that big a deal to me personally.
It's close. It's close though. Yeah, I mean that might be a Saturday one if for me if Chubb is playing. For right now, assuming he's out, it's Woody for me.
Yeah, I think I'm going to lean Woody too, but I do think Corum is a guy worth considering. Yeah. And yeah, maybe my opinion changes as the week goes on. But yeah, I mean, definitely if Chubb is out, I'm starting Woody Marks. And honestly, I mean, even if Chubb plays, like I still might lean that way, but I think it'd be, I think you could argue it's pretty close there. I think I'd still slightly lean Marks just because he's been better on the season. But I mean, if you sample the last several games, maybe Corum's been better. So I do think it's a discussion. But yeah, that's a really interesting one. But I'll say Woody. We'll both say Woody Marks for now. But yeah, definitely ask us again on Saturday night.
Yeah, that's a Saturday night one. It's early in the week. Not feeling too confident on some very close call like that.
Yeah. And we probably will have to sign off soon, or at least I will, because it is 2 a.m. here on the East Coast. But we'll see if we can get through the last handful of questions here. Also, I noticed that we've been stuck on 3 likes for a while. So definitely do us a favor and drop us a quick like here, and we'll try to answer everyone's questions. But yeah, we would really appreciate that greatly. Really helps push out the live stream to new viewers. So definitely trying to grow this channel. So yeah, dropping us a like. Even if it seems like something that's just really small and what does it do, like it really helps us accomplish that goal. So would definitely really appreciate that. And yeah, let's return to the live chat here. Where do we leave off? Okay. Nahal also says start Baker, Mariota, or Shuck. So yeah, Baker plays in the Thursday night game against the Falcons. And then let's see, Mariota plays, the Vikings. Okay, so.
No, he just played the Vikings.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, why did I say that?
Giants. Yep. I'm just stopping right there. I'm playing Mariota. They'll have some good matchups, honestly. Shuck plays Carolina, so.
Yeah, so I think I am leaning. I'm definitely going Mariota there. Yeah.
I'm not even. Yeah, I wasn't even joking though about like Mariota because I do think like all these guys basically have like the same range of outcomes. I would say I think they're all right in the same tier. So very difficult. I would say the Giants have been such a good matchup. You get Terry McLaurin back. Here's the thing. Without looking back, I'm pretty sure Mariota, he didn't start. He threw like 4 passes against the Vikings. Don't worry about some random interception going in there on his first pass. Ignore that. He was like a QB1, like 3 of the last 4 starts, I believe, before Daniels came back. So, I mean, he's been better than Baker. Shuck's been solid as well. I think he has 2 QB1 performances in the last couple of weeks, but it's Mariota for me. He's been the most consistent. In fact, I don't know if he's had a bad start in his 2 years with the Commanders. Actually,
right?
I don't think he has. If you want to call maybe 14 or 15 fantasy points bad, I think that's been his floor.
Okay. Yeah, he seems like he's been pretty darn good for them. Very consistent. So yeah. I'm not surprised to hear that. And Jacob says, I'm still Neighbors over Rice. Okay, interesting. So yeah, it looks like Jacob and I agree on that. I think, Blake, did you say Rice over Neighbors even if it's the off season?
No. That's what I say. If you don't need, if you're not contending, you make the Rice for Neighbor or whatever. Yeah, Rice for Neighbors. But if you're contending, you make the Neighbors for Rice, which is what I did in the league.
Yeah, and I agree. If you need to make that for your playoff push, I'm okay with it. Just know you're losing some value.
Pretty much.
But I think it's close enough that you can accept that if it gives you a chance to win a championship. But so we're all in agreement. Neighbors over Rice if it's the off season.
Hey, let me build some confidence here for Nahal on or for anyone here on a Mariota start. All right, against the Giants, which are just an awesome matchup. Here's his starts since becoming a Commander in the last 2 years here. 23 point. Actually, let me just say the quarterback finish. Actually, this is way better and these are all like 20-point games. Obviously, when he's like a QB1, QB9, QB6, QB6, QB17, QB19, QB13, QB9, QB3.
That's really good.
He's basically a QB1 when he's in there. I mean, more often than not. So yeah, I think he's hilariously enough. Mariota's your guy this week. That's where I would play.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then let's see. Nahal says, would you start Loveland or Theo Johnson over Tyler Warren? So yeah, what are you doing with Tyler Warren this week with what's his name, Leonard at quarterback most likely, or maybe Rivers? I mean, are you firing up Warren if you've been starting him all year, or would you go to the bench and start someone like a Loveland or Theo Johnson this week?
Yeah, I mean, look, if it could be a Saturday question because of we don't know who the quarterback is technically right now. If it's Rivers, I don't like. To me, that's best case. I think that's good. I think like it could be. I'm not saying an upgrade over Daniel Jones. Let me be very clear, but I think it's a massive upgrade over a rookie quarterback starting. And heck, his knee's now hurt, and he's I mean, mostly just you were hoping that his rushing ability could kind of move the chains, not really his passing. So, I look Tyler Warren for me. If Rivers is starting, Loveland plays Cleveland. That's just not a good matchup. So. He's been good, but Theo Johnson is playing
Washington.
Yeah, he's been good. I'm playing Tyler Warren basically. Now come back on Saturday or put in the Discord. We could talk about that one, Hall. If Leonard's playing, it's a legit question. I think, and I understand if you don't trust Phillip Rivers, but I do.
If Leonard's playing, I think I'd lean toward Theo Johnson. But yeah, definitely ask us again on Saturday. But I guess we'll tentatively say Warren for the moment. But that's definitely a situation to monitor.
It kind of feels like, anyways, it could be one of those cases where now I know that Theo Johnson has actually had some big weeks and he's been solid and again Loveland's heating up. But man, if you sit Tyler Warren. Good lord, especially if you sit him with Phillip.
He hasn't been that great lately. I mean, I guess he had some spike weeks early in the season.
He had the worst matchups ever, and then he played Houston, and then his quarterback got hurt last game. So, I mean, it would have been nice to see him do well through some of the worst matchups ever. He's now got the greatest schedule coming up ever. So, it
is a good match against the Seahawks, but I just don't know if it matters with the quarterback situation. Personally, I'm actually going to change my answer. I mean, again, ask me again on Saturday. We'll see what the reports are on the quarterbacks and, how Rivers looks or, all that kind of stuff. But, if I had to make the decision right now, I'm putting Theo Johnson in there. At least I know what I'm getting. Dart seems to like him. He scores touchdowns. He's at home. It's a nice matchup against the Commanders. I just feel like I know what I'm getting there. I don't really want to be starting Tyler Warren with a rookie quarterback that probably sucks or a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers who they signed off the street.
The PPR scam could be, it could be ultimate.
It could be, but I just don't know what I'm getting, and I don't like to not know what I'm getting unless I'm just really desperate and have no other options. I think Theo Johnson is a solid enough option that I feel better with that. Come
on, this is Antonio Gates here, Tyler Warren, and hey, he had a goal line. He almost vultured a JT touchdown last week. Actually, JT almost scored 3 fantasy points because they're giving obviously Warren every once in a while some carries on the goal line. I think he was an inch away from getting in. I mean, hey, that's an extra bonus too. Are one of those other guys getting carries on the goal line?
Yeah, I love Tyler Warren, but I just don't feel great about starting him this week. So, but yeah, ask us again on Saturday, but. Yeah, that's an interesting one.
They're luckily all good plays. I feel like they're all top 15 tight end plays. So
yeah. I mean, you don't feel amazing about it, any of them, but I hope that helps. I'm sure we'll talk more about it on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Hey, we got Edson in here. He says, "What's up, guys? 7-7, missed the playoffs with a lineup with Judkins, Bucky, Lamb, Jamar Chase." I don't know which Warren that is. Did we figure that out last stream or Saturday stream? And Ibuka. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. That's rough.
Damn, yeah. Nah, that's tough.
It says only redraft flopped in my 3 leagues. Good games.
Okay, so that was your only redraft that flopped. That sounds like right.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm glad you made the playoffs in the other 2. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, 7-7, very close. Obviously, sucks with kind of the season that CD missing time, Bucky missing time, Ibuka being cold. Kind of some hot and cold moments there for each of those players actually.
Yeah. Let's try to finish up here. Let's get it. Says with Washington coming back, is it better to play Jeudy instead of BTJ with already having Myers in? Never have started 2 wide receivers. Last time I did, it was T Higgins and Jamar Chase. Okay, so you mean you never started 2 wide receivers on the same team? But wait, I mean, didn't we say to bench both Jeudy and BTJ? Because I forget what all the other options were, but the options we chose to start were like neither of them. So I mean, I would bench both those guys personally.
Yeah. I mean, maybe from all those other options, but maybe Marv wasn't back though. That's because we said Marv.
Oh, okay. So maybe if Marv is out, you have to start one of them. If that's the case,
I just don't know how I could start Jerry Jeudy is what I'll say.
Yeah, I'll throw Brian Thomas in there and hope for the best at that point.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry Jeudy to me is I think. I mean, you could go start Tim Patrick. Hell, if if you don't want to start PTJ, just go pick up Tim Patrick. If Washington's not back, I'm only partially joking. No, I think you could get some crazy waiver wire pickup before putting Jerry Jeudy in. Personally, I know he had a big touchdown. Most of the yards after the catch there. I think that was probably one of those plays where they're talking about a blown coverage. Honestly, when I saw that, I mean, it couldn't have been more wide open, but. I don't know. Maybe I got to look into Jeudy a little bit more. I just don't have any confidence in him.
Yeah.
To be honest.
All right. Nahal says, what are y'all's thoughts on Philip Rivers? Okay. We did talk about it earlier, so definitely go back and feel free to listen. But Blake, you're the Philip Rivers believer. I'm more skeptical. But for the sake of speed here, can you summarize your thoughts on Rivers in 3 sentences or less?
I'm optimistic and I'm ready to have some fun with Philip Rivers. That's about it. I do think he can actually throw 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Any quarterback can do that has a brain. So okay. I mean, is his physical body going to be there? I don't know, but if it is, I think it could be fun for those Colts guys.
All right, hey, it sounds like 3 sentences to me. So well done there. And then Nahal says, I feel like Bucks versus Falcons is always high scoring though, and Baker might have all 3 receivers. Yeah, but I just don't think Baker's healthy, so I don't know if it matters. I mean, I think it'll help, of course, having Mike Evans back. I don't know if Jalen McMillan's going to get activated, but that's something to monitor as well. I mean, not that he's going to be some big factor for fantasy, but it's just another good weapon for Baker. Never hurts. I'm assuming Godwin's going to play, but I guess that's a little up in the air because he's questionable, an older receiver, trying to play through injury on a short week. So, but yeah, the weapon should probably be better. I mean, if he just gets some of those guys healthy this week.
Jalen McMillan is back. I didn't officially. That's what he said. Jalen McMillan is active.
Oh wow, okay. Last I saw, he was from IR to questionable. So
damn, I didn't even know that.
Was he taken off the injury report completely then?
Yeah, it says it's confirmed. Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan are active, he said.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, hey, I mean, that's definitely a nice little boost. I mean, I don't know if that's enough for me personally, for example, to start him over Jacoby Brissett, even with Brissett being in a bad matchup. But what do you think, Blake? Knowing that, would you start Baker or Brissett in a playoff matchup?
I'm not starting anything against Houston when I have a Baker versus Atlanta with all these weapons. I mean, I even have a chance to trade for Brissett in a league in that Waste Management where we lost Daniel Jones, and I want to get Brissett for the future playoff matchups. No one is scoring points against Houston, so it's either garbage time or it's nothing. You know what I mean? For quarterback points there, I think.
I mean, you just never know. I mean, do we not think Houston's just gonna have a bad day at the office at some point before the end of the season?
I mean, look, he can get there. That's what I mean by just I don't know, by throwing the ball 60 times and just.
And he could have Marv back. I mean, that's a boost for him, just like we're saying for Baker. He gets a boost from having Evans back and Jalen McMillan.
I mean, it sucks because the Brissett keeps doing it over and over and over again. Does it against Rams, but Houston is that is I don't know. If there's one matchup I'm actually scared, I'm petrified of, it's Houston. So.
I think I'm starting Brissett anyways. If I start Baker over him because of the matchup and it proves to be the wrong decision, it's just going to be when will I learn? You just have to start your best players. And I think as crazy as it sounds, Brissett is my best player between him and Baker. this season.
I mean, it's fair. It is the Falcons on Thursday night, so I will say, like, yeah, I'm not like dying to play Baker when I have other options.
I remember 2 years ago when Flacco was on that hot run in Cleveland. He had a Thursday night game against the Jets. The Jets, I believe, were allowing like the fewest fantasy points to opposing like wide receivers, and I think like to opposing quarterbacks as well. What happens? Flacco and Amari Cooper lit them up. It was just like the matchup didn't matter. It was just like, oh, the Jets just didn't show up today. And that's what can happen sometimes. And that's what I consistently have seen happen in the fantasy playoffs. So
maybe I feel like trade.
You start your best players in the playoffs.
Well, we're playing against Baker, so maybe I need to go trade for Brissett here and see if this theory is right. But I do remember that game.
Telling you.
But here's the thing. Nahal said it wasn't even Brissett that was the option. It was Mariota. And that's the one we said to play.
Yeah. Okay. So apologies for making this all about me and my decision, but I was just using it as an example.
Okay. I thought you. Yeah. I didn't even realize that you were talking about your own.
Yeah, my bad. But yeah, I mean, I'll admit that's a tough one. I mean, yeah, Mariota's going to tempt me, but the thing is, I mean, Mariota has been really good this year. I mean, let me see what the point difference is.
He just keeps finishing as a QB1 though. You know, like
yeah. So I mean, you could argue. So wait, I'm sorry. So wait, we're debating between Baker and Mariota.
Well, we said we would play Mariota between him and Shuck and Baker.
Yeah.
You know, they're all in the same tier. Let's be very clear here. I mean, yeah, Mariota just keeps playing like a low-end QB1. I think you know what you're getting in a really good matchup. I don't blame you for playing Baker over him if you want to. That's what I would do. I would hilariously enough play Mariota, I think, especially if you're in 4-point passing touchdown. Again, when you get in the 6-point passing touchdown, it gets much closer. Giving the Russians.
I just pulled up scoring leaders for 6-point passing touchdown league. So let's compare them for the year, because I mean, this is something I'm doing regularly for all my start sit decisions in my leagues. Personally, I am on Sleeper. I'm clicking on players, leaders. I'm sorting by points per game, and I'm seeing, okay, like let's look at this objectively. Who has been my best player this season between player X and player Y? And sometimes I will recalculate it if they missed a game due to, or if they left a game early due to injury, then signs out remove that game and recalculate it. But just generically, just pulling it up on Sleeper here, 6-point passing touchdown league. Looks like Baker is at 19.2 points per game. And Mariota is at.
He was in a couple games where he Daniels got
hurt
and barely played.
So yeah, maybe that brought it down. So yeah, that's probably one of those where you have to recalculate it to get kind of that true score. But yeah, let's just see what it says generically here. If I can find him. Oh, here he is. Okay, so he's at 13.9, but yeah, that's probably highly influenced by just playing. Yeah, okay, he has one game where he only played 31% of snaps.
3 games.
He has a game where he played 12%, 25%. So you basically need to remove 3 games. So
yeah. That's exactly. I mean, I tested it out here real quick. 125 divided by 6 is what we're looking for here. Yeah. So yeah, 20.8 points per game.
Baker's at what, 19? Did I say?
Yeah. So I mean, technically, Mariota has been.
So Mariota's been better, and he has the better matchup, and he's healthy, which Baker I don't believe is. So yeah, I think even if you're following my philosophy here for fantasy playoffs of just start your best players regardless of matchup, I think you could argue Mariota is the best player between him and Baker this season.
One thing, though, that actually really could influence things, as funny as it sounds, is Zach Ertz towards ACL at the end of the game. So, I mean, that could be a pretty big loss. The last time we saw him play with Mariota, he had 10 catches or something. So,
I'm not going to worry too much about that person. Come on, Ben Sinnott season. How long we've been waiting for this? He's got other weapons. We got a healthy McLaurin. Yeah. I'm not worried about it. We got Deebo healthy.
I should be more excited about Ben Sinnott. I mean, hopefully, I'm just wrong, but I have literally no expectation for some reason, and I didn't even notice him out there at all, even after the ACL. There wasn't much to do even in that game by the time he tore.
Yeah, I'm not going to read too much into that. Not now. He's going to go into the game as most likely the starter, if not the main pass catching tight end on the team. So
but that was his top option. I mean, Zach Ertz, you know what I mean? So that, I mean, it's still a big loss, even regardless if you think it's gonna affect his fantasy output. I mean, that was a big part in their passing game. Was a reliable target over the middle.
I get it, but I'm not. I mean, it's not enough to sway my decision. Mariota's been the better player. I'm not going to overthink it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. Just overall, I do think that's
a fair point.
I think it's a little worrisome, though. I mean, and again, I think if Nahal wants to play Baker Mayfield because he's getting all these weapons back, and Mariota loses Ertz, I think that's completely fair. So I think they're, again, same tier, all these guys. And heck, we're not even talking about Chuck.
The Hall says, is this the first game those three have played together? I assume he's talking about the Bucs receivers like Ibuka, Godwin, Evans. Yeah, I think it – will that be the first – yeah, I think that will be the first game all three of them play together this year.
All four of them, especially, obviously.
Yeah. Let's see. And Let's Get It says, too crowded in Tampa Bay, it sounds. And then Nahal says it was Mariota, not Brissett, but good – oh, yeah, we already read that. And then Nahal says that Kirk Cousin 500-yard game last year keeps playing in my head. Oh, was that against
Tampa, yeah.
That was against Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know that Atlanta's defense has gotten worse at least. So, I mean, yeah, there are some things going in Baker's way here. I will say that as we keep talking about more.
Okay, so I guess I was going to say, like, but you're not starting a Falcons quarterback against – or wait, I'm sorry. It's getting late. I'm getting confused here. Okay, I get it. And then Let's Get It says, side note, we've used Yahoo for 12-ish years, using Sleeper for the first time this year. Most folks are not fans, LOL.
Really?
I mean, there's a lot of bugs, and it's kind of been slow and everything. So, like, I actually feel like Sleeper used to be better. I feel like it's, like, gone downhill. I don't know if, like, my phone's getting too old for it, but, like, I feel like it's slow. There are a lot of bugs and glitches. I always got to, like, quit it and stuff. But I feel like it used to be better.
You know, it's so funny. I've seen a couple people, like, say that, like, I love Sleeper. I never even really have any issue. Even when there's a bug, I just like whatever. I just delete it. Like it doesn't really bug me. I don't know. The bugs don't bug me if there is any. It is what it is. I think it's way more pleasant on the eye than like God. Like I want to tear my eyes out looking at ESPN #1. That is the worst thing.
Yeah, I mean ESPN's pretty rough.
Yahoo's like I don't know. That's what I originally started playing on. So it's like got a little bit nostalgic, but. Like Sleeper's so much better in my opinion. There's just way too many things to look at in Sleeper. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think I'd rather just like deal with the bugs, deal with slowness. Although that's really starting to annoy me. But I don't know. But yeah, I think we're probably gonna sign off here. Yeah. But definitely drop us a like on the way out. Of course, make sure you're subbed if you're not already. I'm sure everyone all the regulars in here I know are subbed already. But yeah, if anyone is new and lurking, like definitely sub to the channel. And yeah, join our Discord. It's links in the description. We're getting more and more people over there. So good place to put your start sits in between our live streams. Anything else you want to add, Blake?
No. Yeah, that's should be there for Saturday. Just exam season right now. So yeah, definitely gotta head to bed. But should be there Saturday. Catch that. We'll be a little bit more in tune with injuries, what to expect. Hey, we might even have some information on, whether you started, some of these Falcons or Bucs.
Right.
So,
we'll definitely have more informed start-sit answers on Saturday. So, yeah, definitely hit the notification bell so you're notified anytime we go live. And, so we will catch you guys on Saturday night.